Hello everybody and welcome back to another day, another week of 30 NSG. On today's show, we have lots of different topics. We have like, I think 5 or 6 if we can get through them all. We're going to be talking about former Rockstar dev Shutdown for sharing his secrets. We're going to talk about RoboCop Rogue City's surprising success. We're going to be talking about Warhammer 40k Space Marines 2 has been delayed to late 2024. We're going to talk about Valve. Leaked prototype Left 4 Dead build in CS 1.6 update. We're going to talk about Google discussed buying Epic Games, and we're going to talk about Starfield could be in trouble as players' numbers plummet. And if we have time, then we'll talk about the Marvels plummeting 79% at the box office, which means that they're changing stuff at Disney and MCU. But that's what's on today's topic. If you like what we do here, please make sure you share, like, subscribe. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. How's it going, chat? What's going on, Travis? What's going on, Eclipse? Dave Rose, Ghost, Dolphin, Hellspawn, Stealth. How's everyone doing? Hope you guys all had a good weekend. If you are in the States or around the world and you celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I had a good time. Good food, good family, good friends. All right. Those of you that don't know what we do, we basically cover our channel is basically just discussing gaming news and entertainment news. We do a podcast that ends the week on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, called Generation X Gaming. That'll be back this week. We go Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till about 12:30 or so. I say about noon Eastern. We just discuss video games and topics and different things. So if you guys like that, make sure you tune in every single day, Monday through Thursday. It's a good time. We just kind of hang out, get you past your day at work or at home or whatever you're doing. So I appreciate it. All right. Let me get... Why is this so... So my Streamlabs basically crashed this weekend. Or last week, so I lost all of my settings, and I had to redo everything this weekend. So if music's too loud, or my audio's too loud, or shots don't work, we'll have to fix it. What's going on, Intervoid? Papa, what's going on? All right, let's start off. Let's start off with the first topic here. Again, if you guys don't know what we do, basically we cover a topic. I do a breakout video for a standalone video later. You guys watch me do it live, and then after that, we have a conversation in chat about that topic, and then everybody else gets to just watch that video later. So if you're here live, I do appreciate you very much. What's going on, Soups? All right, let's get back into the swing of things here. Do I have that? Hold on one second. I want to make sure this the broadcaster. Yeah, I do. Noise removal, camera. Let me shut that off. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 30 NSG. On today's show, we're going to be talking about RoboCop Rogue City's surprising success proves there's still room in the business for mid-tier games. So, publisher Nikon said that RoboCop Shooter is the best ever at launch. So, Nikon was announced that RoboCop Rogue City, the future of law enforcement shooters, is the best ever launch, ranking up more than 435,000 players and 2.7 million game sessions in the first 2 weeks of release. It says, quote, RoboCop Rogue City has exceeded our expectations and achieved a genuine feat as far as it's concerned. Now, the CEO, Alec Fallick, said that we're really proud to have been able to work with the studio, Tyon, on the game created by for RoboCop diehards. We would also like to thank MGM for the trust they placed in throughout the collaboration, as well as all the players who have contributed to making this release such a great success. Now, the PC version of RoboCop Rogue City holds a 75 aggregate score on Metacritic, which seems about right, and we scored at 65% in our review, which is from PC Gamer, praising the fantastic shootouts, but knocking it for dull narrative and bloated pacing, which is an issue for games spun out of a movie, and that's a lot smarter than it might first appear. Ultimately, Rogue City doesn't rise above the B game status of the way the RoboCop transcends its B movie origins. Now, still, it's nice to see a mid-tier shooter like RoboCop Rogue City can find success, especially when trying to muscle into the already crowded field of just a week ahead of launch, the genre-dominating Modern Warfare 3. Now, so it's not as apples to apples comparison, but I'm glad that there's still some room for so-called AA games, and the smarter publishers can do well with them. Developer Tyon also actually had similar luck with its previous game, Terminator Resistance, another mid-budget licensed game that holds a very positive rating across more than 10,500 user reviews on Steam. Now, the big question is whether the success of RoboCop Rogue City opens the door to more in the form of an expansion or full sequel, or even just a new game plus mode, and some fans have been asking for. At the very least, Nikon's happiness with the game's sales would seem to make it outcome really possible. Now, RoboCop Rogue City is not part of the Steam's autumn sale. It just came out a couple weeks ago after all, but if you're waiting for a deal, you can pick it up at 33% discount at Epic Game Store thanks to those reusable coupons in the Epic Black Friday sale. Now, let me give you my thoughts. We played RoboCop on this show, on this podcast, on this channel, and I absolutely loved it. I figure if you ever watch RoboCop 1, 2, and 3, 3 is absolute dog water, okay? And RoboCop Rogue City, to me, is a better plot point and better story than actual RoboCop 3, the film. Now, regardless, okay, RoboCop Rogue City is a fantastic mid-tier game, and that's not a shot at it. I actually absolutely loved RoboCop Rogue City. We played it, like I said, in full. Okay, I absolutely love the little RPG elements, the skill trees, the power-ups that you can get with your weapons, the gory where you're misting people when you shoot them in the head, the humor of RoboCop, the writing of RoboCop. Everyone might look at this as mid-tier or whatever, but it's exactly what RoboCop was. I think it would have been a bigger problem if you took RoboCop and all of a sudden didn't make it the cheesy dialogue and writing that it was in the 80s. They nailed this game 100% in my opinion, and it's a fantastic game. And if you want to pick it up, if you're a RoboCop fan, you definitely have to pick it up. If you're not a RoboCop fan, wait till it goes on sale, give it a shot down the road. It's actually a pretty good, just decent shooter, and it's just a fun time when you play it. Now, what do I think about this type of game? Just like we've talked about, if you guys are here and you hear me talk about movies and video games all the time, they're blowing up so much, meaning they're getting so over fluffed with the budget that you have to start bringing these games back down to reality and earth, okay? Because a lot of these games will not be selling 10 million copies, 15 million copies. Yes, there's AAA games out there that still do it. There are the Call of Duties that are broke, buggy, unfinished, and yet they still sell that many. But mid-tier games, independent games, AA, these are the sweet spot of gaming. This is where the sweet spot of gaming, we just talked about the Comeback Kids video last week, right? We talked about why gaming isn't fun anymore. And I think it's not gaming isn't fun. I think AAA games are being less fun because of all the microtransactions and all the stuff that they do with these games. But if you go to indie games, and if you go to, the AA games, this is the spot where it's like the sweet spot of gaming. This is still able to be like it was in the past, where they make a game, they sell a game. These are passionate developers that are not taken over by big companies, okay? And they just want to make a good game. And playing RoboCop Rogue City, you can 100% tell that they wanted to be a passion game that they wanted to make of RoboCop. If you were not a RoboCop fan, you've never watched the movies, and all of a sudden you play this game, and then you happen to go back and watch the movies, you're going to be like, man, these guys nailed it, okay? So I'm really happy that, and I said it would sell about 2.5 to 3 million copies, and they said they sold 2.7 million copies, so bravo to them, and bravo to me for getting it right in the middle, right? So I applaud companies like this that take it, because it's really hard to take a franchise movie. We've all played those movie games, right? that are based on the films, and they're just absolute terrible. And then we've also tried where they tried to adjust or make it different. This is perfect adaptation from what RoboCop 1 and 2, and this takes place between 2 and 3, is a perfect blend. I think more games like this need to come out. More AA, lower budget games need to come out that are not broke, not buggy, don't need to wait 6 months, 18 months to get finished. They just come out, they make a game, they sell a game, and it's fantastic. Now, as far as RoboCop, I said after I was done, I said, I kind of hope there's more DLC. I would pay for DLC with this. I don't want this to be a live service game. I want make a DLC, sell a DLC, make an extra story. Sure, you want to add a new game plus, that would be fun as well. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. What did you think of RoboCop Rogue City if you played it? And if you haven't played it, let me know in the comments section down below. Do you think more games should be in the AA category where they can actually, you know, make a game, sell a game? Or do you want more games that come out broke, buggy, unfinished, AAA games that you have to wait 18 months for it to be finished? Let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right. You said before I've had backed you up. A good license makes a huge difference. Yeah, Travis. If you just take this RoboCop game, right, and you make it a generic game, right? It's not a RoboCop. It's just a guy that's a police officer going around. It's not the same. It's not the same. But you take that game and you put the license behind it, and all of a sudden, you already have a built-in fan base. This is why lots of companies make remakes and remasters, okay? Because they already have a built-in fan base. They know it's going to succeed to a certain extent, okay? And they don't have to put in that giant budget of a AAA game. They can take the game that's already been made and then put it back out there, and they know they already have a pre-built, clientele. What's going on, Roadkill? RoboCop Rogue City, greater than RoboCop 3. Y'all heard it here, folks. It is. It is. RoboCop Rogue City is greater than RoboCop 3. Rose says it just shows the devs love what they are doing and are fans of the franchise, and they can make a fantastic game. I would like, there was someone that said, I think it was on Twitter, but I said it when I was playing the game. We actually said it, the chat. We would love to see a Judge Dredd by these guys. What's going on, Barry? Bought RoboCop Rogue City for Xbox Series X and really enjoyed it. Very short, as finished in 6 hours, but was only $40. Yeah, I mean, you can actually play it. We played, I think we got it for 12 hours, but we did everything, Barry. We went in and I missed a couple of side missions, so we actually didn't do everything. We missed, I think, 2 or 3 in the very beginning because we did those during the demo, but it took us about 12 hours to do everything. Let's go outside the word. How close it only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. We actually have a radio show here in Orlando, Travis. They actually, that's their slogan. They do like a quiz show, and they say you have to get close, but close only counts if you horseshoes and hand grenades. I agree with microtransactions does make less enjoyable. Remember the good old days when you just had to just play a game to the death to unlock everything. Yeah, I'm playing another game right now, Barry, that's on Game Pass and PC. It's on Xbox. It's on Game Pass and PC. It's called RoboQuest. Okay, it's a rogue-like, almost feels like Borderlands-ish. Okay, it's a fantastic little game, and it has that loop of doing the same thing, shooting things, going different paths, unlocking everything. There's like 6 characters or 6 heroes you can unlock. It's actually pretty good. So it says RoboCop 3 doesn't exist. Why do you think Sony only does remakes and sequels? I mean, they all do it. It's not just Sony. What's going on, Mo? I mean, they can call it a remake, but Final Fantasy VII was a new game. They changed the entire story. That's what a remake is. A remake is taking the title and then just changing the story. A remaster is taking the exact same thing and then making it again, right? Like if look at it in a movie purpose, Travis. If Ghostbusters the original was remastered, they're not changing the story or anything. They're just remastering it, meaning they're bringing it up to the quality of like 4K, better graphics, whatever, CGI uplift, right? A remake is taking the title and redoing it in their own way, right? Knights of the Old Republic that's coming out is a remake. Yeah, Rose says he's at 20 hours. Look, what I'm playing right now is Uncharted 4, you know, draw replay. This is amazing. This is the same goes for Mass Effect. What's going on, Records? Right, this is why I say the day said Resident Evil 4 wasn't a remake, it was a remaster. Well, didn't they change the story a bit or anything inside of Resident Evil 4? I don't know. I didn't play the original Resident Evil 4, and I didn't play the remake of it. So, was it a remaster, or was it a remake? Crowded House says, I don't believe in remake. We'll change the story. Demon's Souls remake is the same game remade. Well, then that's a remaster. It's not a remake. If it's the exact same game, it's a remaster. If they call it a remake, then they change something in there. They change where certain things happen, but largely the same events. If they change something, it's a remake. If it's the exact same, it's a remaster. What was the selling price of RoboCop game? I think it was, I paid $60 for it on console, I believe. I think I paid $60 for it. Why do I have typing? Where did that sound? Where's that sound effect coming from? What the hell is that? That's never happened before. Where's that sound coming from? Hold on a second. You guys hear that, right? Like what? Why all of a sudden? See, this is what I. What thing popped up now that all of a sudden now? Silver says no. Mo says yes. I'm gonna take Mo's. Nothing against you, Silver, but I can hear it. Where I don't know what that's coming from. I wonder if is that happening in. Let me know if you guys hear it in this one. No. So it's in the browser. Okay. So something happened in Opera GX where it's making that sound effect, and I don't know why. That is so weird. I don't see an option for it anywhere. If anybody knows If anyone uses Opera GX, and you can tell me how to shut that off, because that's going to be annoying as hell. The Last of Us remake didn't change anything either. $70. That means it's a remaster. They're using remake and remaster completely wrong. If they're calling it a remake and they didn't change anything story-wise or anything in there, then it's a remaster. Mute my microphone. Mute my microphone. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna mute my microphone and then I'm gonna type. It's still there. See, it's happening inside Opera GX. Because it's not happening in my other browser. It's not happening in my other browser. It's only happening in Opera GX. It's never happened up until this point. So I don't know what that is. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Browser sounds. Browser sound. Typing. No. No. All right, let me see. There we go. It's gone. Fixed it. High five, chat. High five. I was like, what is that? If that's happening to anybody, you got to go to your settings over on the left side, and you got to go to basic, and then you got to scroll down to your browser sounds. It's under GX. It's below GX lights, and it's browser sound. Inside there, it says browser sounds, and then typing is set 1 and whatnot. So that's where you're going. So if anyone else, if it got turned on magically after an update or something, there you go. Yeah, Silver, it's never. I've been using it. I've been using Opera GX now for 2 years, and that's never been on. All right, so what do you guys think? Those of you that played RoboCop Rogue City, would you prefer more games like RoboCop in that mid-tier, right? Like AA, like not AAA? Because in movies, budgets for movies are getting out of control, right? $250, $300 million films. They need to make $900 million to $1 billion to make money. The Marvels, if we have time, we'll talk about that at the end. They cost them $300 million to make that movie, and they're not going to make money back. They're going to lose around $400 million when it's said and done. Okay? Same with video games. Certain video games are blowing up to $200 million, $250 million. There's rumors that Grand Theft Auto is over $1 billion. Okay? Now, that will make its money back because it's Grand Theft Auto 6, but that's the outlier, right? But there's games that are getting too big, right? Too big for their britches, okay? And a lot of games that need to succeed. I watched another one. I saw a video this weekend. It's a game that's on it's on Steam. It's called You're Gonna Die. Hold on, let me look it up. You're About to Die or something like that. We Who Are About to Die. We Who Are About to Die. Okay. One man created this game. One man created this game. I watched the video this weekend. Okay. He spent years making this game. Okay, one man made the game. He wanted to sell 10,000 games. That's it, 10,000 games in its lifetime. In its lifetime. When the game went live, he sold 12,000 copies in 24 hours. Okay, he's gone on to sell a lot more than that, and they've they've added DLC or whatever and whatnot. But that's a successful game, right? That's a successful game because he made $500,000 off a game that sold a couple 10, maybe 20,000 copies, right? Maybe even more than that now. I have no idea. In his video, he says when he sold it, right? That, okay, that is what gaming used to be. Okay, when Activision and them made their games originally, and EA made their games originally, they weren't selling 10 million copies. No, they were selling like 1 million copies. They were selling like 700,000 copies, and that's what built up to make the money that they made to continue doing what they want. The guy who made that game, right, now has like 3 employees, and now he's making his next game. Started a studio because of that. Okay, now he's successful. The people that make BattleBit Remastered, okay, that is another small 3-man team, 3-man team that's made a crap ton of money, tens of thousands of sales for that, okay, and they're successful. RoboCop sells 2.7 million copies. That's phenomenal for a AA, right? Because it probably didn't cost them anywhere near what it cost for a AAA game. So where do you guys stand? Do you guys want more of this type of game, or do you want AAA games? You want the blockbuster? You want that just like the movies, the blockbuster films that come out. You want that blockbuster game to come out. Don't really care how much the game costs as long as it's good at release. Well, Barry, there's a difference, because if the game costs $300 million to make, right, and it's a live service game, but it's broke, buggy, unfinished, and you have to wait 3 years for it to, because they also, if you don't buy enough microtransactions, they shut that game down, right? Yeah, sure, it might be fun, but they didn't finish the game because they have to make all the money. If that was down, if they put less money into it and made their money back, then they wouldn't have to thrive on, well, we have to get enough microtransactions to sell. What's going on now? Go on, Paul. Papa says, the problem with movies and games is that the actors, devs, and technology is overly inflated in price. Well, there are people... What is this? The problem is there's a lot of people... there's an interview with Tom Brady, right? Who is a football player, for those of you that don't know. Sports ball. Okay. And to be a championship team, to have... The budget doesn't inflate to beyond belief, because he could just keep asking for money. He's a 7-time Super Bowl champion, okay, but at the time he was like a 1-time, 2-time, 3-time, and he could just keep asking, right? People that win Academy Awards can ask for more money. They make $20 million, okay. In sports, they don't know. They could, their career could end the next play, but some of them take pay cuts, right? Like, to win a championship, Dwayne Wade on the Miami Heat took a pay cut so they could bring LeBron James and was it Bosch, right, over on the team so they could win a championship. Same thing with other people. Sometimes you don't have to make all the money. You can take a pay cut to bring down the price to make a good thing, right? Video games do it, companies do it, but a lot of companies don't do that. A lot of movies don't do that. But there's movies that are passion projects for actors that could make $20 million, but instead they're like, you know what, I'm gonna do this small independent film because I believe in the script, and then it does really well, and then it springboards other people's careers, right? This is why Game Pass is great, Paul says. For smaller devs, also for Xbox, cover the dev cost, profits day one. We've talked about that, Paul, right? We've talked about how, for instance, right, we did a description. If the leaked documents with Suicide Squad in the court documents for Activision Blizzard, and they said that Suicide Squad was on that list, right? And it said $250 million day and date. Now, we don't know if that's going to happen still, but Suicide Squad, let's say it does come out day and date on Game Pass. Okay, 250 million is 3.5 million copies sold at that price point. Okay, so that would already cover 3.5 million copies sold of that game. Now, if that was an independent developer covering, right, that's a success story, right? They don't have to worry about it. They can now take that money and start investing into the next thing, because if it's on all platforms, but Game Pass gave them a big chunk up front, then basically it covers the cost, and then they can go continue making the next game. So it works. Eclipse says, I'm still shocked that Vampire Survivors did not get Indie Game of the Year and Stray did. People are still copying or copying Vampire Survivors. Vampire Survivors is great. Great. It's on the mobile phone. They're doing fine. they're doing fine. Travis says, I want smaller games, you know. Why? Because having smaller good games will make big good games look even bigger. I think more games that are lower cost and become really good. Like, look at, I know they're Lorien Studios with Baldur's Gate 3. What they're doing, and I love this. I don't know if you guys heard this story. Okay, Lorien Studios with that $80 deluxe edition, where they're giving you a map and patches and stickers and posters and 3 discs and physical copy, $80, right? And people are buying them up and then putting them on eBay or other third-party seller sites where they're trying to up the price. And Lorien Studios came out and said they're unlimited. This is not a limited time offer. So don't buy from that. Don't buy from these scalpers. Just buy from us, because you're going to get the game for the price. There's no FOMO, right? I love the fact that that company is literally fighting that. And it's just to show that people want good quality. And Baldur's Gate 3 is great quality across the board, right? Right? There's no microtransactions. There's nothing there. It's just buy a game, right? Make a game, sell a game. Buy a game, enjoy the game. That's it. Come on, Dolphin. Come on, Smoothie. Every game doesn't have to be a AAA. I mean, I'm a fan of Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. Great game. Great game, Smoothie. Michael Jordan as well. Yeah. You take the pay cut because you want to compete. You want to compete. Look at the movie Bad Boys 1. I believe James Cameron said that it was one of the cheapest movies he ever made. That made him a tremendous profit. Did James Cameron make Bad Boys? I don't think he did. James Cameron? Wasn't that a Michael? No, that's Michael Bay. That's Michael Bay. Don't compare James Cameron to Michael Bay. James Cameron makes actually good movies. But Michael Bay did say that. You're right. Wait, you mean Michael Bay and James Cameron aren't the same person? It's Michael Cameron and James Bay. I was like, you almost got me there for a second. I was like, wait a minute. I worked in the film industry for 20 years. And I was like, Michael Bay? Or I'm sorry, James Cameron did Bad Boys? I was like, no, that's not. JG from Space says gaming needs Blumhouse, a publisher that specializes in low-cost, high-reward projects. I think they're out there. I just think there's a lot of people that are going for the free-to-play, lower-tier type of games where they're AAA games but free-to-play with microtransactions, you know? Yeah, I had a good holiday. I had a good holiday. We went down South Florida on Wednesday. Had Thanksgiving with my family. Cousins came in from New York. We hung out with them, and then we left on Saturday afternoon. Got back here Sunday. Did some stuff. As soon as I got back, we had a couple issues in the house. Our lift station. Those of you that don't know what a lift station is, because we live on a farm, it pushes the stuff out to the septic tank, whatever. I have to go fix that after we're done here. It's not working correctly. Just regular stuff. Go on, Lurker. Can I tell you guys a story? And I want to know why it happens, right? So driving, right? I got to drive 180 miles, almost 200 miles to my family's house, right? And I hate this, right? Like, some of you are in Europe and around the world, maybe you don't have the same rules, but in America, there's 2 lanes on the turnpike. Okay, sometimes there's 3 lanes, but there's 2 lanes on the turnpike. Okay, the right lane is for slower traffic. The left lane is for faster traffic. Now, the speed limit is 70 miles an hour. If I'm going 71, 72, 80, 90, doesn't matter. I'm in the left lane, and a car behind me is going faster than I am. I, as the driver in the left lane, have to move over to the right, regardless if I'm moving faster than the people in the right, okay? You don't sit in the left lane, okay? So people in the left lane just love sitting in the fucking left lane, right? I'm gonna get a little aggravated here. I'm having flashbacks of what's happening, right? My son is in the back seat. He's playing Mario Kart on the Switch, right? And I feel like I'm playing Mario Kart in real life. I'm like swerving in and out of traffic, trying to get around stuff, okay? And there's just people, just 60 miles an hour, left lane, okay? And then there's these people, okay? Then there's these people that if I'm going 80 miles an hour, right? I'm coming up on you in the left lane and you're not moving and it's clear on the right, I got to move over to the right. Now I'm passing, and this person all of a sudden decides to step on the gas because they don't want me passing. What's your deal, dude? Right? If you don't want to go faster, then get over to the fucking right lane. And then when I try to pass you, you speed up because you don't want me in front of you. Like, is this some little game that you guys play on the road? Like, move the fuck over. Has a law that says that troopers can ticket you if you're driving in the left lane and you're not passing. That's a law here as well, Lurker, in Florida, right? And then people argue. This is how stupid people are. They're like, well, you're speeding. Well, I wouldn't have to speed if you move the fuck over, right? If the speed limit's 70 and you're going 70, congratulations, move over. Because if I want to pass you, I'm allowed to go past the speed limit to pass and then move over to the right lane until the next person I have to pass. How half the people have driver's license is a miracle. It's amazing. They're just drivers there they're like the guys saying they're on the road, sort of like, you ever watch NASCAR? There's like 24 cars in the race, but really there's only like 7, right? Everybody else is just there to block them from getting by, to make it a little bit more entertaining, right? That's it. I get so aggravated. And then there's these people that really aggravate me, right? The pacers. They just stay right there. right? They're moving along, they're moving along, they're moving along, they're going in the left lane, they get it right next to the guy in the right lane, and they just kind of pace, and they just sit there like they're fucking having a conversation or holding each other's hands. Move over. Sorry, L asked me how my vacation was, and I had flashbacks of driving down for 3 hours. I can't wait for AI drivers, so the AI just stays over to the right lane and they're all moving the same speed. That way the gas cars can just fly in the left lane, get past them. I personally think we should have 3 lanes. I will pay my tax money to make a 3rd lane that's for advanced drivers. Okay? Advanced drivers actually have to go get their license, and they actually have to do something, right? They have to pass a test physically, not just show up brain dead and put your thumbprint on the thing and you get a license. No, you actually have to take a test to get an advanced license, right? Put a fucking star, I don't know what you want, a smiley face, whatever you want, to make sure that I have the advanced license, and only people with advanced license, right? I'll get my car even inspected or whatever, just so I can ride in that other lane that nobody else can go in. Give me 1 second. Someone's at my house. Hold on 1 second. Saint's like, the people that pass you and then slow down, road rage. The best part is, Saint, I'll just put cruise control on. So I'm going like, 4 or 5 miles an hour over. And I'm catching up to these people like they're standing still. Okay? And then as soon as I'm about to pass them, because they're not moving, so I get over to the right lane, they start speeding up. And it's like, and then they slow down. Or it's like, doing? What are you doing? Now you're making too much sense. The Autobahn's that way for the fast lane. Yeah, like, look, if the speed limit's 70 and you're going 80 and the car behind me is going 90, 80 has to move over. 80 has to move over. I'm not worried about him getting a ticket. If he's going 90, I'm going 80, I gotta move over. Right? 90 passes. I'm behind a slow car. I get back in the left lane. I pass and I get back over to the right until the next car. Right? The left lane's supposed to be clear. Right? Nope, that's not how it does. You get the stubborn drivers, they're there. They got their feet up on the dashboard and they're surfing. It's like, out of the way. All right, I got that off my chest. I feel better. Join me next week as we talk about servers that don't do their job and like to talk more. I got stories for days. And yes, we are having holiday music in the background. I did, Hellspawn. I did. I saw Dark Microtransaction do a video on the survey that was out. Bueller News also did one. I saw this past weekend. He was talking about it. If they bring stashes, if they sell stashes in Diablo 4, I'm never going back. Okay, I'm not playing right now because the game is broke, buggy, unfinished, and it needs help. And I said by season 3 or 4, I'll go back and try it. But if they bring stashes in, microtransaction wise, and you have to buy stashes, F you. F you, Diablo. I'm not coming back. Now, I enjoyed the game. I played 160 hours, played through the campaign, enjoyed my time playing the game. But I am not going back in that game so I can buy for stashes. That's right, Travis. And I'm okay with that. You know why? Because I bought a game, I played a game, and I put down the game. Diablo 4 just goes in the pile of other games I've completed in my lifetime. I don't need to go back. All right. Let's go to story number 2. You guys like the show so far? Make sure you hit that like button. Helps us out here. All right. Second story today. If you guys are new in my channel, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We cover stories here, have conversations back and forth. It's like just having a nice little buddy show here, right? Like you guys are all sitting on the couch and we're all just talking about stupid shit and news stories and whatnot. So if you like it, stick around. I do little breakout videos. You can watch them after the fact. So, all right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 30NSG. On today's show, we're going to be talking about former Rockstar dev shuts down for sharing secrets. Now, for the last few days, Grand Theft Auto fans in the world over have been revealing in the amount of information being shared by former Rockstar North developer who worked on Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas, and GTA 4. And some of the various spin-off titles associated with the games. He left Rockstar North in 2009, and the last week or so took the internet to share stories as a long-lost secrets about the development of these games. Unfortunately, Rockstar North was caught up with Verminji and informed him that he must stop writing blog posts about his escapades. I don't know why, which was then included features that never saw the light of day, how certain games came to be, and the technical sides of how uncertain elements like cheat codes actually work. So, fun while it lasted, it says. Now, Abi was a fountain of knowledge for all this about a week, telling us insider stories about some of the all-time favorite Grand Theft Auto games. San Andreas included his tellings, revealed a side of development story that rarely see, but it proved to be too much for Rockstar North. It seemed that the straw that broke the camel's back was a reveal of the zombie survival game that Rockstar Games was working on back in 2000. It was a complete division of the point of that he had discussing thus far, and is also likely to step too far for Rockstar North in its latest and last blog post. He explained that he also been shut down. He says, quote, I got an email from Rockstar North. Apparently on the OG, there's upset about my blog. I generally didn't think anyone would mind talking about a 20-year-old game, but I was wrong. Something about ruining the Rockstar mystique or something. Anyway, this blog isn't important enough to me to piss off my former colleagues in Edinburgh, so I'm winding it down. I'll maybe just leave a few articles that don't affect anyone but me, and I would love for Rockstar to open up about the development of the trilogy themselves, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. Maybe we'll try again in a decade or two. Okay, it was a short-lived glimpse into the development of some of the greatest games ever made, but it's now come to a sudden, unfortunate end. There's also still some blog posts live that he says that there's the technical in nature and answered questions about the car's spawning cheat codes working and how weather systems work. Interesting for a moment, but there's no meat on the bones anymore, sadly. Sorry you missed it. So, here are my thoughts. But before I get to that, if you like what we do here, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. We're trying to hit the 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we're closing in. We're just under 360 away from getting to 2,000 subscribers. So, look, I kind of agree, right? I think as a former employee, like I have stories for days that I could tell about different companies I worked for in the film industry and different things. And there's certain stories I okay telling, and there's other stories that I'm not okay telling. And it's not okay that I'm not okay telling it. It's that I would tell it, but it's like, you know what? I lived in the moment. That's what it was, and that's what it is. And I don't want to give away certain things, because just because I'm skewed doesn't mean other people need to be skewed as well, right? So if someone's in love with a studio or like certain things, right, they could like that stuff, and then other people don't want to know anything about that type of stuff. And I think the information that he was telling, I think, look, he took a shot, and people that like it, it's almost like watching a DVD behind the scenes making of something. There's a big, like, little small section of the internet that loves that behind the scenes stuff. Like, I used to love watching behind the scenes of a director talking about a film and what were the choices that he was making, but a lot of people don't care about that stuff, right? So I understand that Rockstar North is like, look, you can't talk about these games that didn't come out, because what happens, and I understand where the line that they used here to break the mystique or something is what he says. I think there's a certain standard that you have that you're like, oh yeah, they were just working on this game. But if you're talking about a game that never came out, like a zombie survival game that Rockstar was working on, I mean, obviously you could put two and two together type of thing, where in 2000 they were doing it, but then Red Dead came out, and then they had the zombie DLC, which is one of the best DLCs in my opinion that ever came out. Not for just Red Dead, but for like any game. I just loved it. Okay. You could put two and two together and go, oh, that makes sense. They were making a zombie game, right? But it's almost like there's that, if you put something out there, then you're like, oh, it's used as ammunition down the road. It's like, well, they would have made this game and this game, but Grand Theft Auto was so popular, they stopped making it. So it starts to kind of dismiss what they worked on or what they're working on because of the things they didn't work on. Like, oh, it would have been cool if they made this game, but instead we got Grand Theft Auto Online type of stuff. So I understand where Rockstar North is coming from. Now, obviously, I don't know the contract that someone signs for Rockstar, where you always wonder, right? You're like, well, how come we never hear anything about Rockstar Games or behind the scenes of anything? Their NDAs must be like rock solid clad, you know what I mean, type of stuff, where no one can talk about anything even after they leave. So much so 20 years later, this guy still can't say anything about, or 15 years later, about a game that they might have worked on. And they're like, hey, yo, you cut that out. You don't say a word, right? And I'm okay with that, right? Yes, as a person that's on the internet, you want to know all the bits and details of all the stuff like that. But at the same time, Rockstar owns all that information, and if you're an employee for them and you leave, doesn't mean that you can just spew anything you want, right? That's the difference between, for instance, we were just talking about, if you're here in the live chat was talking about, Diablo 4 survey went out. Now, content creators probably didn't get the survey, because if they got the survey, then they could spill the beans on it. But at the same time, you probably have to sign something that says you don't. Well, most people don't care, and they'll spill the beans, and then people like content creators can just talk about it because I didn't sign an NDA, right? So all they can do to me is they ask me politely to stop talking about it, but it's all theory anyway, right? Unless they tell me to stop talking about it, then it becomes confirmed, right? So these are the reasons a lot of stuff, NDAs don't get through it. I had to sign thousands of NDAs for films and products that I filmed and worked on and all these other things. And I respect that. I respect that because the person I worked for paid my bills, made me had the house I live in and the car I drive and the family that I have and where I can go places to do, because they paid the bills, right? So even if I'm disgruntled, I still have morals, I still have respect, and I don't spill the beans of certain things, because why? I don't need to, right? These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Where do you stand? Do you think Rockstar North was wrong by shutting this guy down? Or do you think the guy that was spilling the beans is wrong? Let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe. And thanks for watching. See you guys on the next one. So what do you think, chat? Do you think the ex-developer was wrong for sharing his stories at the company? And do you think Rockstar North is wrong for shutting him up? Or do you think both are wrong? Or both are right? Rockstar Mystique, more like Rockstar Security Complex. Am I right? I mean, they are superior until they're not, right? GTA 6 might have a battle royale mode. Imagine that. I mean, I can imagine it. Rockstar will send goons to your house if you break the NDA. No. That's why 2K. Take-Two actually sends goons to your house. Hence why I boycotted them for like 2 years. Travis says Rockstar North is for sure in the wrong, but so is this guy. Mutual blame on both sides. Well, how can... Hold on a second, Travis. How can mutual blame, right? If the guy starts talking and then they strike him down, you know, B wouldn't happen if A didn't do it, right? The studio wouldn't have to strike him down if A didn't talk about the stuff. So how is it a mutual blame on both sides? One's reacting to the other. It's not like they came out ahead of time and said, don't you do it, right? He literally came out and they're like, yeah, you can't do that. Private House says, I mean, Glad's NDA with Bungie ended, and he straight up told everyone that Bungie had to content vault because the last gen system, nobody shut him down for it. It all depends on what their NDA is, right? Again, when I say ironclad, it all depends on what the NDA says, right? So the NDA for one company for another, there was one contract that I signed because I worked for, I can't even tell you what I worked for, right? I worked for a company that I can never talk about it. Okay? I made in-house videos for certain companies and I can never talk about those. Doesn't matter if I'm on my deathbed. Right? Now, obviously, I could. Right? There's nothing stopping me. Except when I speak, there's consequences. Right? If it ever gets out that I said something about certain companies I worked for projects I worked on or things I worked on, and it gets back to that person, if someone knocks on my door and arrests me or says something, that's the consequence I have to share 3 seconds with somebody, right? Perfect example, right? I didn't even sign an NDA, right? I told this story online, and I can say it again because I don't work for that company anymore, and I never signed anything. But we talked about the iPods back in 2003, 2004 when I worked for Apple as just a retailer, okay, at the Apple store. I said to my brother at his workplace, picking him up for work, that he said, how is work? And I said, man, the iPods, this is when they first came out, I said, are selling like hotcakes. The next day at work, someone said, were you talking about sales with somebody at the Melting Pot? And I was like, I don't think so. I was like, I picked up my brother from the Melting Pot. I was like, but I didn't talk about any sales. And then it reminded me, I was like, I said they sold like hotcakes, and they said that's and I was like, what are we talking about? And I got in trouble for that, right? I got in trouble for comparing an iPod to hotcakes and saying they sold like hotcakes because there was an executive at Apple eating at the Melting Pot and overheard my conversation. Like, imagine that, right? Now, if I signed an NDA and said stuff like that, I can understand the problem, but I didn't. YouTube Lurker says, always shut these guys up. You signed, so STFU. I like the first Avatar. The second one is pretty much pretty movie with crappy story. Oh, the second movie? It was good. The second act, they could have taken out like 40 minutes. Water Bear says, I think it's common practice to not disclose things that go on internally when you're an employee. Working for a telecommunication company, I have tons of things I could talk about, but I don't. Exactly. for 15 seconds of fame. You know what I mean, Water? We never know the truth until they tell us, but they don't want to. Water also says the company isn't wrong. It's all the employees. Do not talk about stuff, ex-employees or not. My thought was he probably revealed lots of things that were fine, but he revealed one thing that wasn't, and they snapped on it. Sure, but at the same time, it's a blog, right? It's not like he was telling his friends. Like, you want to tell your friends or something, your close friends or family, sure, but that can still get out and back, right? But when you have a blog or you go on a thing on a channel, that's a different story. How much time do you think you get for breaking an NDA? How much time do you think you get for breaking NDA? Time like in jail? This movie? Is that what you're talking about? It's more of a, again, it all depends on what the NDA is. They could sue you for one. Yeah, I don't know. It all depend. 2-3 years, maybe 5. Akuda says 5-ish. I'm sorry, are you implying that Rockstar has morals and cares about what's right or wrong? Because let me cue up Bender Laughter. I mean, listen, I don't think any company has morals. I think there's people that have jobs at certain companies and they do their job. So if a lawyer for a company is doing their job based on, right, their job is to make sure no one's breaking the NDAs and the laws. And if they find someone that do it, they're doing their job. I'm not mad at that person. That person's doing their job. Just like the person that's making the game is doing his job, and the person paying the checks is doing their job, right? PSA, Assassin's Creed Syndicate is free to own as of right now until December 6th, 6 a.m. your local time. Thanks, Stealth. Rockstar is the least of my opinion, just as scummy as EA. Just hide it better. Sure. I mean, I don't... For this particular story, Travis, I mean, I don't know where you're going. I don't think Rockstar's in wrong in any way, shape, or form, personally. Someone was speaking about secrets or things that they had behind the scenes, and they said, hey, stop it. And they smacked the dog's face. They went, hey, no bite. I believe they sue as far as being a New Yorker, as did Heavy Time. I can't see them putting someone in jail for it. Yeah, no. I mean, if he signed an NDA that says he cannot say anything about the games ever, then he should not say anything about games ever. True. And again, we're speculating here. I don't know the NDA he signed. Maybe he didn't sign an NDA, right? Maybe they're just scaring the life out of him by going, hey, you worked for us. And there might be a statement, because if you work for a company and then you start telling stuff about that company, they can get you on grounds on stuff like that. Roic says, I worked for an architecture firm and we did something for Disney. And if you broke the NDA, you can get fired and the company could lose the contract. Whew. And then you know who would come after you? Your company, and they would sue you till Kingdom Come, right? Yeah, I've done products. Okay, I can be very generic with this, right? I've shot products and technology, right, for in-house studios, in-house businesses, things that are seen behind the scenes that the light of day would never be shown for public eyes. Okay, government contracts and stuff like that. We shoot and show certain things to show to investors, right? There's things that are technology shown so people can see what it is, but they never see the light of day, but they're showing this type of stuff to show people that are investors. Now, the people that work on that stuff have to sign NDAs, and we can never ever speak of certain things, okay? The people that watch those things sign NDAs, and they can never see anything about those certain things, right? There's lots of different contracts, lots of different things. There's no NDA that's the same as the other NDA, right? It's like a fingerprint. Each their own based on what the company wants to sign and what they hold you to. Maybe house arrest at best. Breaking NDA is not a criminal offense. It all depends on what you sign for NDA. Garrett, 100%, I can tell you an NDA that I break, if I shot something for the military or the government, it's 100% a criminal offense. Not for Rockstar, but to say that NDAs are not a criminal offense, you're absolutely wrong there. I'm sure 85% of people have broken NDAs before, even if you only told your wife I was getting into public and something else. Yeah, no, I've never said anything. Nobody knows the shit that I've worked on. Nobody knows anything that I've worked on for a lot of the stuff that I've done. And it will stay that way. Right before I die, I'll be like, and then I would just go out, and then the person I told would be like, "Oh my God!" Thirty was working on pornos. No, I've worked on pornos. I used to edit pornos when I first got into the business, Travis. Let me tell you something. Back in the day when you did pornos, they didn't last that long. It was just different shots from different angles. You gotta stretch it out the content, if you know what I mean. Well, it wasn't even a starting point. It wasn't even a starting point. It pays really well. It pays really well. I mean, it doesn't pay as much as the other people get paid, but it pays really well. Yeah, or he filmed the people making the pizza before they cut the hole in the box. That's right. Thirty's a government assassin. I am not. Ba-doom-tsh. Crowded. No, that was the dream job back when I started in the business, Travis, working on a sitcom. I would have loved to work on a sitcom. Especially one that ran a long period of time. Like, I would have loved to work on a sitcom where, you know, for 20 weeks, 22 weeks, you are working on that show every year for 5 years, 10 years. Man, I would have loved to work on a sitcom, a long running one like Friends or like Seinfeld. That's before my time, but would have loved to work on a sitcom like that. Garrett says, talking about classified info and not is not the same as breaking NDA. I think I could be wrong. I mean, a non-disclosure agreement is a non-disclosure agreement. And again, no non-disclosure agreements are alike. There's different ones that you have to sign. Again, Garrett, you're talking about, I don't think it's a criminal offense for video games. And you might be 100% correct. Big Bang Theory would have been your time. Yeah, that started because I got into the camera industry I was in business since 98. Got in the camera industry about 2006. Yeah. All right, let's get to the third topic. All right. Exactly, Z. Do I have my set to mono? Oh, you know what? Yeah, hold on one second. Dupless. Is that better, Dupless? If you, in the beginning I said if there was problems in the stream, let me know, because my whole streaming OBS Streamlabs deleted everything. So this weekend I had to like put everything back. So I know Dupless is listening on headphones, so I appreciate that. Thanks for letting me know. But real quick, is that the same for... No, that's okay. Okay. I appreciate it, Dupless. Yeah, this weekend, right before I left, remember last week when I was talking about we were playing Returning of Moria, and I was getting all this like issues, and I had to use the other OBS, not Streamlabs, because my Streamlabs literally was a critical error, and it deleted the entire setup that I had. So this weekend I had to go back and put all the audio back in, all these settings and these clips. So all right, let's start this next topic. If you guys like what we're doing here, make sure you hit that like button down below, hit the subscribe button, and if you'd like to go above and beyond that, you can become a member as little as $5. We are trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So, all right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 30 NSG. On today's show, we're going to be talking about Warhammer 40K Space Marines 2 has been delayed to late 2024. So Focus Entertainment has announced that Warhammer 40K Space Marines 2 has been delayed to the second half of 2024. In the press release, it was announced that the new release date of the game would be revealed in early December, and the early December reveal date could suggest that it could be revealed at the Game Awards, which takes place on December 8th, 2023, which we are covering here live on Thursday night on December 8th. So last year, Space Marine 2 gameplay was revealed at the Game Awards, and according to the publisher, the game has also been delayed to provide the time needed to properly polish the game and to ensure the best possible experience. Now, the press release continued, Focus Entertainment is committed to releasing a game that is on the highest quality and that exceeds expectations of the countless fans of the franchise. Space Marines 2 has already accumulated over 1 million wish lists to date. Now, from the first Space Marines game, Captain Titus will return, to the only difference being that now he's voiced by Clive Standen of Taken fame, and also not Mark Strong, as was the case back in 2011. As per the original cinematic teaser, players will be pitted against dominating forces of tyrants of bloodthirsty alien enemies that simply needed annihilating. Now, Space Marine 2 is scheduled to release on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC, and you're looking forward to playing Space Marines 2, let me know down below. Now, here's the problem I have, and I'm okay with Warhammer delaying. I'm okay with any game delaying. What I have an issue with the delays, okay, is how close they come to the actual game being launched. Now, for this particular game, before I give you my thoughts, make sure you hit that like button down below, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers, okay? Warhammer is just yet another game in the list of games in the past 7 to 8 years, okay, where they, right up to launch, right? Because they said, oh, it's gonna be holiday season, November, December. And here we are, November, December, and just weeks before that's left in the year, they're like, yeah, we're delaying it for quality, right? And that's fine. Now, this is better than what they would have done which is they would have released the game, and then 6 months, 8 months, 12 months after the game came out, they would be fixing the game. This is all good, right? You're like, great, let it bake, let it cook, let it be out there, let it continue cooking and making the game better. This is exactly what happened with Cyberpunk. This is the same thing that happened with Battlefield. This is the same thing that happened with No Man's Sky. It's good until it's not. Okay? So right now they're in the part of it's good. Let it bake, let it cook. But when it does come out 6 months from now, 8 months from now, you're like, great, now it's out. They polished it, it's ready to go. If it comes out and it's broke, buggy, unfinished, you look at it and go, well, what the hell? Right? This game was supposed to launch. Remember, Halo Infinite was supposed to launch, and it delayed a year. And when it came out, it was missing features, broke, buggy, unfinished, okay? And then they fixed it over the next 2-3 years, okay? So technically, it was like fixed for 4 years. They were going to release that game. Imagine if they released that game back then, how broke it would have been, okay? So yes, I'm happy that this company is stopping, thinking for a second, and going, yeah, we need to delay it. But they could have done this way ahead of time. They know, if you work on something, if I'm building something, or I'm making something, if I'm coding something, I know how much time it's going to take to finish. If someone says you have a week to do this, you know you have a week to do it, and you're like, it's not going to work. It's not possible. We don't have a time frame. Okay? I can't imagine that all these studios don't know the time frame it costs, or the time it takes to make these games complete. They put a date out, they hype you up with the trailer, they put a date out, they put a soft date out, they put a cap out, whatever it is, but they still put it out there, and then right before it, they go, we need 8 more months. You're like, hold up. You just realized right now you need 6 to 8 more months to finish the game? That to me is a little sketchy, and it's not just against Space Marines, it's just the industry as a whole. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. Are you happy that this is delayed? Or are you just kind of like, yeah, whatever, when it comes out, it comes out. I just hope it's fixed, not broke, buggy, and unfinished when it comes out. Again, these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. So chat, what do you think? I know Water says let it cook. Let it cook, right? And I'm okay letting it cook as long as when it comes out it's baked all the way through, you know? Before I heard about the delay, I thought the game had already came out. Watching the gameplay vids didn't look as fun as the early trailers. Sarge says, delay the game. Do not release unfinished game. See you when I see you. Horseman says, I also wonder if they're delaying it to get boost of 40K show that comes out at that time. Oh, that could be Horseman, maybe. Kind of cross promotion type of thing. Yeah, Bungie will wait until January to announce a TFS delay for sure. Or if you don't like the whole thing, it's just the same thing every single episode. Oh, you're talking about the Big Bang Theory, Travis? Is that what you're still on? They just got that Game Pass bag, so taking more time. Well, it is coming to Game Pass, right, Mo? It's 100% coming to Game Pass. Wasn't Cyberpunk delayed like 4 times? Do we even need to say it? Was it delayed 4 times? I just remember, the biggest thing I remember about Cyberpunk, Travis, is that they came out to make fun of other companies, really making fun of Bethesda with Fallout 76, that they said they're not going to release a game like the other guys, right? They're not going to release a game until it's complete. That's what I was upset. Eclipse says, as long as it's good, I'm fine with it being delayed. When I saw the gameplay, it looked pretty good. So hopefully it's just getting a lot of bugs out. Yeah, but my point, though, Eclipse, is how do you not know this 3 or 4 months ago? And then it's the amount of time that they're pushing it back, right? It's not like it's a month or 2 down the road. It's 6 to 8 months down the road. That's a big sign of, wait a minute. So you're delaying it 6 to 8 months, right? Because it says late 2024. So you're delaying it 6 to 8 months. Yet you were going to release it in 3 weeks. Like, how many problems are in the game that you need to delay it that long all of a sudden? Z says, "Oh my God, 1 year. What was not known a few months ago?" That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, right? And I'm not shitting on these guys in particular. They're not the first ones to do it. This is just get another studio to all of a sudden be like, yeah, we're delaying it 6 to 8 months. Smoothie says they postponed Resident Evil Versus for a year and a half, and it still sucked. And this is my point, though, right? Because you remember that Marvel's Avengers got delayed, and it came out. Now, I enjoyed it. But it had problems. And they delayed it by a year. And it still had problems, right? So now, this could be one of the things that comes out and go, yeah, it was totally worth the wait, and I'm glad they delayed it, right? They're in that. So they move from, I'm excited for it, to, I'm not as excited for it, to, okay, they proved me wrong, and it came out as a finished game. I'm okay with the delay as long as the game of the year the day before isn't delayed again. Let's go. Look, I'm excited for this game. Water. I was excited for this game to play with Sarge because it looked like a fun game to play co-op, right? But I'm a little concerned that you delayed it now 8 months, 6 to 8 months, just a couple of weeks before the end of the year when it was supposed to come out this year, right? But we knew, right? We talked about it in our Discord. We're like, yeah, I think it's going to get delayed because we haven't heard anything. Leading up from like July, we're like, isn't this game coming out? They're like, oh yeah, it's November, December. Then September came in October. We still didn't hear anything. We're like, yeah, it says November, December, but it's probably going to get delayed. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't understand why companies keep doing this. Like the people they made Wrestling Quest. And they waited until the last second to delay it in a week. Yeah, and I don't understand. And again, I'm not a developer. I'm not a coder. Okay? But I know how long it takes to edit something. I know how long it takes to film something, to work on a project. If I build something out of wood or metal or whatever, right? You make the allotted time. You're like, okay, I'm making this, and this is how long it's going to take, right? I'm making this game, and I know things pop up and are broken and fixed. You're like, you go outside to go fix a simple product or project, and all of a sudden the bolts are rusted and it takes more time. So it's something that takes 2 hours now takes 6 hours or whatever, right? Because you don't have the proper tools. But in development, you're like, yeah, this game's coming out by the end of 2023, and they're like, I know there's only like 4 weeks left in the year, but we're delaying the game for 8 months. It's like, oh, hold up a second. You just found out now that you're delaying it 8 months? It takes, say, 12 to 18 months for after release, new tiles to complete, so it sounds about right. I hope it doesn't take that long to fix it. Horseman says, it's also funny that Saber's supposed to working on KOTOR. If it's not dead, so good luck to anyone that has hope. They'll be waiting a while. Yeah, I don't know. I understand. It's dead, and then 2 people said, no, it's not dead. They're still working on it, but yet nobody wants to talk about it, which is fine. Don't talk about it unless you have something to say. But we'll see. We'll see when the game comes out, if and when it comes out, if it ever comes out. Maybe they have information on GTA 6 coming out, and they want to push their game out on GTA 6 year. If anything, I would wait. I wouldn't put anywhere near it. Can you imagine? Oh, imagine this now. 6 to 8 months down the road. It says late 2024. So here we are. We sit. What's today? The 27th. So 2 weeks from now, week and a half from now, the Game Awards happens. Okay, Grand Theft Auto comes out and says, coming out in 2024. All of a sudden, right after that, these guys come back out and say, we're pushing the game back to 2025. They're like, we don't want anything to do with Grand Theft Auto 6. Right House says, well, I think the delays usually happen because the game is nowhere near ready. but the investors will only give it so much time. They don't care. I think you're right there, Crowded. I think a lot of the thing is there's the number. There was a we watched the video a couple weeks ago, right? The marketing of the game ruins the game itself, right? The marketing pushes things forward. They show trailers a year ago, say, look at this game, here it is. They start to hype you up with stuff, but the developers are nowhere near complete, right? Look at what's happening with Fable. They're already starting to activate Fable and whatnot, right? But yet Fable's like 2 years away, right? But they do this on purpose. The marketing works for the corporate. Corporate wants to get the hype up so people pre-order, get hyped up for the game or whatnot. But the developers, they're like, dude, can you stop advertising the game? We're not anywhere near close to being finished. Travis, if you don't like the music, suck it. You can leave. Better yet, you can watch me on mute. You can just watch me. You can just watch me yell and scream with no sound. You ever played Quest 3, man? It's the motion sickness craze for me. Quest 3. Have you ever played Quest 3? Is that the game? The name of the game? Or are you saying MetaQuest 3? If Space Marines comes out too close to GTA 6, you know damn well the delay spring to 2025. Oh, for sure. Quest 3, I love it though. Dolphin says, I try to tell you like 3 times about the sound. Dolphin, are you... Oh, someone tell Dolphin he's behind. I think he's commenting on Duplis's where he was telling me about the sound. I'm assuming you mean the MetaQuest 3. You have to use it to get used to it. Yeah, no, I have the MetaQuest 2. I have the MetaQuest 2, and I absolutely love it. So actually, great segue. I tested out the virtual PC on my MetaQuest, and this weekend, or the days I was gone, I left my computer on in my house, right? I shut the screens off so they wouldn't be on. But I let my computer on, okay? And I tested it out. I was gone for 3 days. I had a virtual PC on my MetaQuest, and I was operating my computer from where I was, and there was no lag whatsoever. I was editing videos and posting videos while I was gone, okay? And it's amazing. And I absolutely love the virtual reality more than the games. I like being able to work anywhere. And it was great. I would just pop on the headset. I had my 3 screens in front of me, and I was like working. And I was like, this is fantastic. Yeah, Water, thanks for letting me know about it. So I tested it out. I played video games on it. I was doing my work on it. I was editing videos on it through the Meta, through the headset. It was fantastic. All right, we're done with those 3 stories. I kind of want to push this one up a little bit, right? I thought this was a dumb title. But I like to have a conversation about this, right? I like to have a conversation about this. This was a dumb article, but you know what? We don't discriminate here. We read all articles. Smart and dumb. Okay, the title of this, okay, because a lot of people look at this, and this is gonna take people about single player games compared to live service games or whatnot, right? But they take the numbers just from Steam. But I find this humorous anyway. Roadkill, even if you have a Chromebook, you can get virtual PC, and you can take that Chromebook and put it on the headset. What I like about the MetaQuest 3 is that it's in color when you're doing the pass through. For MetaQuest 2, you're in black and white. Still okay, but Okuda Papa says, "Oh, trust me, the writers covering this article are getting lambasted to their stupidity." I haven't read the article yet, but the title alone, when I saw it this weekend, I was like, "Oh, dude, I gotta talk about this on the Stro." I gotta talk about this. All right. Let's go. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 30 NSG. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about Starfield could be in trouble as players' numbers plummet. So even with the commercial and critical success, Bethesda's long-awaited sci-fi RPG is falling off quicker than its predecessors. I don't even know what that means. We're in a completely different realm. But anyway, let's read the article, shall we? The months leading up to Starfield and its launch were an event. Whether you were a fan of Bethesda game studio titles or following the industry, Bethesda's first new IP in over 20 years, a massive sci-fi space RPG with over 1,000 planets, and the latest directional effort into mind behind the Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, and Fallout 4. All this more pervaded a conversation around Starfield. It's the first Bethesda game studio title to launch on day one for Game Pass, opening it up for a much larger audience than before. However, being an Xbox Series XS exclusive, it was also viewed as the big deal for Microsoft, who struggled over the past few years to deliver a high-profile exclusives despite many blockbusters. Initial impressions from the fans and critics were positive. They have their review of Game Bolt. Many others are praised on the title exploration of shipbuilding and space combat, scale, atmosphere, and improved visuals. Now, sure, there were some shortcomings with the combat and excessive loading screens, but the sense of Bethesda's wonder is seamlessly intact. Even accounting for a variety of tasting of title earns an 86 Metascore on PC among 78 critic reviews, and 83 Metascore on Xbox Series XS based on 90 reviews, both respectable. Now, cut to nearly 3 months later, Starfield's discussion, for entirely different reasons, has gone from a very positive rating on Steam to mostly positive and now mixed out of 76,611 user reviews. 69% of the positive, and from the most recent reviews, only 51%. On Metacritic, Starfield user scores are currently at 7.0 on Xbox Series XS based out of 11,000 ratings, and the PC user score is even more worrying at 5.6 from 6,715 rating. Those who played Cyberpunk 2077 at launch will no doubt remember something similar. It started fairly positive before the user reviews slowly plummeted. Of course, just as CD Projekt Red's opus at the time, there was a belief that the ratings were ultimately irrelevant. After all, the players' counts were strong, and the game was doing something right for a large subsection of its audience, right? Now, Starfield peaked at 330,723 concurrent players on Steam on August 31st. Pretty good compared to previous Bethesda titles of Skyrim. It peaked at 287 for 411 when it first launched. And especially, it's also available on Game Pass. However, that's when early access started. Now, the concurrent player count gradually declined ever since, and its now 24-hour peak was 22,152 players, right below the Elder Scrolls V Special Edition 23,098 players. First of all, I don't understand why they're comparing other Bethesda games to this Bethesda game. Now, obviously, there's been a lot to Elder Scrolls game, okay, 5 with mods and different support. So comparing something that's 12 years old to the brand new game and saying, well, this one's over the... But there's a huge... Anyway, I'll continue. I won't put my thoughts in just yet. Okay. Yes, the later is technical 7 years old. However, considering how many have shifted from the base Skyrim released about 12 years ago, and Starfield is struggling to beat the predecessors and concerning. Now, at least doing a better than Fallout 4, which had 24-hour peak of 15,000, though its all-time peak is 472,000. This is above the Beyond the Spacefaring RPG. Now, while concurrent player numbers on Xbox aren't available, a quick peek in the most played games on console sees Starfield in the 15th position. It's also ahead of Halo Infinite. Remember that the latter reputation took also a beating through the years for many reasons that has slowly been repaired, I should say, thanks to numerous updates and new content. Maybe it's because there's newer games. Maybe it's certainly factors of Starfield as a single-player title, also competing against various free-to-play live service multiplayer games. However, Baldur's Gate 3 launched a month before the PC and is still the 5th most played game on Steam with 24-hour peak of 125,585 players. Now, Cyberpunk 2077 also made a major new update and paid expansion, Phantom Liberty, but it's also in September. It's sitting at 23rd in the most played games on the chart on Steam with a 24-hour peak of 36,000. Starfield currently at 43rd place behind games like Elden Ring, Valheim, Stardew Valley, and Terraria. Okay. What's going on? Are players going to Skyrim because they're tired of Starfield? Are they looking forward to the palate cleanser? Maybe just approaching other games to take a break. That's one way to look at it. Or you could argue that Skyrim and even Fallout 4 have more mods, which also help broaden the experience and provide new features. However, looking back at the first years for the base version of Skyrim and Fallout 4, their drops in concurrent players are nowhere near as drastic as Starfield over the past 3 months. Among the several players, even the most diehard who have hundreds of hours in the game, their strong sentiment for Starfield doesn't offer the same Bethesda magic of exploration. That feeling of picking a direction and traveling forth, discovering all kinds of wonders, whether it's a side quest or random events, a dungeon, or something unique, it's simply missing. Starfield's exploration is more segmented and alternates between handcrafted content and major cities, like New Atlantis, Neon, and randomly generated content on other planets. Some find this faction quest story companions don't match up with previous Bethesda Studios efforts, never mind contemporary games. Meanwhile, the randomly generated content begins to overstate its welcome once you see the same outposts and events on different planets, regardless of the circumstances. This isn't a discredit all the cool things you can do, like building spaceships, engaging in massive fleet battles, or roaming around the surface of the planets, gazing upon nearby stars. However, other carriers of their substantial weight, significant numbers of players, and Starfield isn't delivering those departments. The article says, to clarify, this doesn't mean Starfield is a failure. It crossed 11 million players as of October 25th, as it holds the record for most numbers of Game Pass subscriptions in a single day. Nearly half of the hours played on PC, so why does the current position on the Steam charts looks dismal? Well, its place is the Xbox charts looks somewhat better, even if it isn't at the top 10. While Microsoft and Bethesda haven't shared sales numbers, it was the 7th best-selling game of the year in the United States as of October 18th, and there's a sizable team working on the game long-term with director Todd Howard confirming 250 developers. They've done a good job thus far listening to the feedback, implementing features, and has also present launch of NVIDIA DLSS, supports brightness, contrast, and settings, and much more. Mod support is also coming next year and could heavily expand the availability experience of the gameplay features. The developer also committed to DLC. One story expansion, Shattered Space, is already confirmed, and Howard promises a lot of post-launch DLC of varying sizes. No ETA on those, unfortunately. He says the problem lies in the future. Even Bethesda releases lots of DLC. It needs to do more bolster in the core of giving current players a reason to keep coming back. It may also sound like new content is the answer, but seeing the titles like Destiny 2, a live service game with seasons and events, it's not a recipe for success. An initial DLC for Starfield is incredible, and the sales future releases could be affected. Besides, all the long-term support of free updates requires resources. Mods may seem like the answer, but Skyrim and Fallout 4 aren't played this day just because of that. It's because they offer fans Bethesda titles that want environmental design, exploration content. Okay. Starfield's future very much depends on Bethesda's plans for the same, and it could also have the same shattering features in mid of next year to bolster players' numbers. So let me give you my thoughts on this article. Okay, but before I do that, please make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if you'd like to go above and beyond that, you can hit the membership button for as little as $5. All right, so look, this article is pretty heavy on the against Starfield type of thing. One, Starfield is a single player game. You could take any single player game, come back 3 months from now. Okay. Now, obviously, this article won't be written because you cannot see the numbers of PlayStation single player games. Okay. You can see, which the article is written on, which is the Steam numbers for Starfield. Now, obviously, if you're taking a chunk of that and putting it over there, sure, you can see the Steam numbers. But there's also another whole section of people that are playing the game over on Xbox. Now, people don't want to believe that it's successful, and they're also like, well, it's over, it's done. This is not a multiplayer game. It's comparing to games that have multiplayer, Halo Infinite, okay? It's also comparing to games that are 12 years old, sure, but Bethesda is like a comfy old pair of shoes, right? When you have a pair of shoes that you like, you're always going to go back to those games like Fallout 4, Fallout 3, Skyrim, because those games are fantastic, and it's 100% the reason the mods. I want to do a stat. How many people are playing Skyrim on Steam that have mods included? Okay, because in the article it says it's not the reason people go back and play it. I guarantee you that's 100% the reason. There's some sort of mod installed to let them continue playing visually if it adds something to the game, and this is the reason they go back and play those games. Now, Starfield, sure, I said this before the game even launched. I said 1,000 planets is kind of ridiculous. Okay, especially in a single player game, you're going to get bored and monotonous, and you're going to be like, I'm kind of done. Hence why I've had a video and talked about this in the past that I think they're going to do some sort of Fallout first servers to play with your friends, or they're going to do some sort of multiplayer down the road where you can also play, where you can build things. Okay, but those are my thoughts. Okay, to say that Starfield is in trouble for the player numbers plummet, Xbox doesn't care. Microsoft doesn't care. Do you know why? Because to say that Starfield, you paid for the game. You bought the game. If you're on Steam, you paid full price for the game. They have your money. If you buy it or played it on Game Pass, you did what you were supposed to do. You have Game Pass. You played the game. You tried the game. If you didn't like it, you stopped playing the game. But yet it's another game that's just sitting on Game Pass for people to play, that if the game is not successful now, it's still going to be there 10 months. 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, 36 months, 10 years from now, it's going to be on Game Pass, okay, as long as Game Pass is around. So to say that these player numbers is plummeting and it's a problem, and it's a single-player game. And the only reason this is critical is because there's numbers on Steam. If there was no numbers on Steam and they couldn't see the numbers on Xbox, there would be no article written. It's stupid. It's really stupid because all single-player games numbers diminish from what they were from day one. These are facts, okay? So, to me, Starfield is fine. Microsoft is fine, and Game Pass is fine. This game is just yet another game that's on Game Pass. Just like when Phil Spencer said Halo will not make or break, and right now, it's the biggest it's ever been right now, Halo Infinite, okay? Battlefield 2042 is at the pinnacle of its height since launch. Before launch, it's higher numbers now than it was before launch. Well, that's because they fixed the game. As Starfield stays out, as they add more DLC, as they add more mod support and different stores and different things, you're going to watch the number go up. And people are going to be like, I can't believe people are still playing Starfield. This game is dead. But that's just the way life is. These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Like, this is retarded. This is retarded. That's right. Retarded. Why would Starfield be in trouble? They released, they sold it, and they got paid. Where's the trouble? Exactly, Sarge. Right? Either you paid for the game, you bought the game, you paid for early access to the game, or you paid Game Pass for the month. Or you paid it for 2 months. Or you paid it for 3 months. I think it's working out just fine, isn't it? I'm not sure. Isn't this a single player game? Yeah, Water, it is. Yeah. The beta starts on the 30th of November and goes to December 6th, I believe, Stealth. How many times did they compare the other games to Cyberpunk 2077, 2088, to Elder Scrolls? Isn't even the same games. Yeah. Eclipse says, I wonder how many people are playing Spider-Man 2 right now. Oh, yeah. We never know because they don't have anything like that to track the game. But there's just more people, Eclipse. Just because. There's more people. I still play Spider-Man 2 a little bit every day. I enjoy thrashing through the fighting random crimes. I'm waiting for a new game plus. Right, Rose, but what we're saying is it's a single-player game. There's still people playing Starfield, right? The whole article is based on Steam numbers. And the fact that there is no Steam numbers for Spider-Man 2, right? I mean, let's actually go to Steam numbers for Spider-Man 1, right? Let's go to Spider-Man 1, shall we? I mean, this game's dying, right? By the logic of this is that the game's dying, right? 66,000 all-time peak, but there's only 4,600 people playing right now. So, you know, it's dying. Here, it went down in April, went down to 1,700, right? The only reason people are playing it now is because Spider-Man 2 came out, and they're playing it more, right? It's a single-player game. The point is, it's a single-player game. And of course, once you beat the game, most people don't continue playing the game. It's not a live service game. They literally compared it to Destiny 2 in the article. Spider-Boy came and went real quick. They know that Starfield makes people click. This is the only reason they did this article. For sure. For sure. Why when a Starfield story does it have to Sony versus Microsoft? Maybe people stop playing it because they beat it or got bored. But that's my point, though, Rose. It's a single-player game. They just played the game and they moved on. That's a lot different than the other games on Game Pass. They put a ton of time and money into Starfield. Trust me, somebody's not happy with the productivity. What are you talking about, Road? They literally sold. I think the reports were like 4 million, 6 million copies. People paid like $125 to get early access, and then the people that have Game Pass that don't even own the game paid $30 to get 5 days early access. Like, I don't understand why everyone thinks that Starfield is a failure. Starfield's literally whole point was to get on Game Pass, right? And in the article, it literally says it holds the record, okay, for most Game Pass games, right? Here, it says it holds the record for most Game Pass. It says it's the first Bethesda game studio title to launch day one on the Game Pass, opening is much larger audience than before. Microsoft, who also struggled over the past few years, delivered a high-profile. Where was that statement? Wait. I know it was there. We read it. I can't find it now. I mean, you could sway into anything, right? Even Baldur's Gate 3 is not having the concurrent player base that it had when it first came out. You know? I mean, percentage-wise, is this game dead? 875,000 all-time peak, right? And it's below 77. Watch out, Baldur's Gate 3. Where's the article on that? Come on. Come on. Single-player games people buy, they play, and they move on. Whatever you want to call. Every single-player game is bought, played, and put down. And people sprinkle in and play it, right? Well, no, that the statement was in this article. It said it was it was the best-selling, or the most Game Pass. I just can't find it in the article now without reading through it again. Exactly, it could have by the standards of what it is, right? Because if the 330,000 concurrent players on Steam on August 31st, and now there's, you know, whatever they said, 70,000 or less than that, it's just silly. It's just silly. Oh, 22,000, right? That percentage from 330,000 to 22,000 compared to the 77,000 to 875,000, that's a much bigger difference. Go on, Jones. Well, negative content, negative articles click more than positive ones, right? And PlayStation's hitting on all cylinders, Mo. People love clicking on Xbox is failing, Game Pass is down, this game sucks, Microsoft. The articles that are written about bad do outweigh what PlayStation is bad, because there's more Xbox to talk about, because people love to hate on Xbox, right? So that makes sense. That makes sense. There are articles written about, Sony PlayStation hurting, but majority of it is Xbox, because people hate Xbox, but they love to read stuff about Xbox, right? That's why there's clickbait articles and stuff like that. Exactly, Clylo. And don't get me wrong. If PlayStation had majority of stuff, right, and remember this, there's more people own a PlayStation than they own an Xbox, right? So there's going to be more people that like PlayStation and hate Xbox, because there's a 3-to-1 ratio just in that number alone. But you also have to take the percentage. I would like to know the percentage of people that own a PlayStation also own an Xbox, because then the leftover is what the people that actually are the people that hate Xbox, right? Or just dislike Microsoft. I've been tempted to make a Sony channel just to make money off of a rabid PlayStation 5 player base. I can make so much freaking money by just pretending. Sure, I think you would get exposed for that, right? People could 100% tell. I just found out my Series X can play CDs and my PlayStation 5 can't. Xbox fans click on Xbox bad stuff to scream about how Xbox isn't bad, furthering the click-through. The negative articles for Xbox are click farms. Exactly, all. That's what I'm saying. Like, anything that has to do with negative is the Xbox fans are going to read it and go, what are they talking about? And then they're going to put the shields up and defend. Where the PlayStation, which is the majority of the gamers, right, in the console world, okay, are going to come over to see what they're talking about and then shit on it as well. Which then just makes the whole thing, you know, keep rolling over. Because it's just not hard. All you have to do is just overact everything Xbox and praise everything Sony, even bad products like the Portal. I don't understand the Portal, but hey, whatever. People buy it, they like it, cool. I don't get it. We had this conversation last week. JG from Space says, what positive story, Xbox story would you want them to write instead? Is there only negative news to report? What do you expect journalists to do? I expect journalists. Do we really think that this article is news? I mean, I'm a content creator that just reads articles, right? And then I comment on the articles. I'm not a journalist, right? But if I was a journalist, if I was doing what they were doing, would I write an article like this? I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't. Because this is the perfect thing, right? When me and Sarge do the podcast on Thursdays, I read through a whole bunch of news stories. Our Discord is filled with submitted stories, right? And we go through, literally right before the show, about an hour before the show, I read the title of the article, and Sarge goes, what's the news? What's the news? And I say there is no news, right? And that's it. Most of these are not news stories, okay? Most of these are just clickbait type of stuff. Now, I'm making content off of it because a lot of the stuff is just not news, and we have a conversation back and forth like this. But they're not having a conversation back and forth. They're literally just putting out a piece to get people to open up and credit and, you know, and hit it, right? And I'm more happy to do this and talk about it than for people to click on the actual article, right? Starfield's an outlier in my opinion. It's become a story onto itself. It's like the last Jedi of gaming. It gets clicks, right? And that's the real thing, right? Starfield is so hated and loved on one side, hated on the other because it's not on that platform. Because we would have a completely different story, and this is truthful. Okay, if Starfield was a PlayStation exclusive, there wouldn't be a bad word said from a PlayStation, right? Xbox would be shitting on it, which is less of the population because there's 1/3 less. Okay? Actually, 3/3 less. Okay? So, and if it was on all platforms, then it wouldn't get as much shit talking as well because then everyone would be able to play it. It's because it's on Game Pass and PC only. And the majority of the people that don't have a PC / don't have an Xbox are upset about it. They are. Also, the Portal is not designed for the Western markets. The Japanese and Asian markets have better infrastructure, and they love having dedicated products. Not for me, but more power to those who love it. Absolutely. It doesn't make sense to me over here it makes sense to people that live in a city that commute and whatnot, but you still have to have an infrastructure because you still need a PlayStation to play the thing. It's not a standalone device. If it was a PlayStation Vita 2 and you could play standalone games on that device all day, pick that up and play it. But a remote play on a device that you pay $200 for, it makes no sense to me personally. Horseman says also one thing the media publications have to worry about is getting blacklisted by Sony. There was also Xbox that takes things like a punching bag, so people are always more to say and do whatever. True, Horseman. Sarge says a news story: who, what, where, and why, and then shut the fuck up. I'd be the greatest game to ever grace the console if it was a PS exclusive. Have higher Metacritic too, I bet. Kylo, 100%. 100%. If the shoe was on the other foot, right? There's less Xboxers out there. So if it was exclusive for PlayStation, PlayStation fans would say get bent, right? And then it would be Metacritic score higher, more people would play it just because or whatever. But because it is what it is, right? And then also, something I didn't say during the actual breakout video, right? But gaming 12 years ago is a different landscape than today. There's less gamers playing back then. There's more gamers playing now. There's also way more games now. So more people are playing different games now. Where back then, there was less games to play and less people playing those games. Right? That's completely untrue. If anything was the PlayStation exclusive, the Metacritic score would be lower. No, in no way, shape, or form would that be true, Garrett. There's more people that own a PlayStation than that own an Xbox. By literally triple to one, right? 3-to-1 ratio of PlayStation owns than Xbox. It's only on Xbox. The Metacritic score would be higher just based on the amount of people that own a PlayStation. If anything, Xbox games get an inflated score. There's no world where Starfield should have even been better score than Ghost of Tsushima. It's not. What are you going by, Metacritic? You going by Metacritic? It's the same. 83. 83. It's actually an 87 on the PlayStation 5. So what's the issue? Yeah, Ghost is a better game. I mean, it is a better game. 87. So you're saying that this right here is not what this game is worth, but you're saying that this game is worth what it is. Well, yeah, because Ghost of Tsushima came out on it came out on PlayStation 4. It's right here. Look, I'm not lying to you. I'm showing you what the score is. An 83. It's the same. 83. 83. When it came to PlayStation 5, it's an 87. It came out a year later. And again, you liking a game and not liking a game is subjective to you. To say that Ghost of Tsushima is a better game than Starfield, that's your opinion. I know it's crazy. People have different opinions. Like, you can't fathom, Garrett, that Ghost of Tsushima is an 83, and yet Starfield is also an 83. You're like, there's no way that's an 83. Ghost of Tsushima is a much better game. Okay, it is. It's an 87 on PlayStation 5. Like, this is not even a conversation. So don't act like Xbox all of a sudden gets a tax on their scores. Never said they did. Did that come out of my mouth? Did a tax come out of my mouth besides just now when I said tax? I never brought up once. All I said was the score would be higher on PlayStation because there's more people that own a PlayStation. Those are facts. More people would have played the game and been unsatisfied because they can play the game on PlayStation. Three to one ratio. So you're saying, Garrett, you're saying that if Starfield was on PlayStation, the score would be lower than an 83. Even though people on PlayStation would be able to get to play it. Bungie just confirmed the final shape delay. That's convenient. We just talked about it earlier in the stream. They're gonna. I thought there was no delay. I thought the delay didn't exist. I thought it didn't. It wasn't confirmed, even though the person that confirmed it was the guy who confirmed it. And anytime he confirms something, everyone's like, "Yeah, well, he's lying." If it was a PlayStation exclusive, there would still have been a pushback, but blows would have been softened due to the volume alone. Everything PlayStation puts out gets more reviews, hands on them. Sure, but a lot of people, all I'm saying is more people would have played the game, right? If it was on PlayStation, right? Right now, because it was on Game Pass, regardless if it was on Game Pass or not, right? There's less people that own an Xbox. Less people by a third, okay? 3 to 1 ratio, PlayStation to Xbox. So more people would have played the game across the board. And if it was across the board and it wasn't exclusive for Xbox and it was on PlayStation and Xbox, okay, that's not a console battle then. That's just a game comes out, PlayStation fans get to play it, which I believe they should have, by the way. I've said this before. I think it's dumb that it's exclusive on anything, okay? But it is what it is. So if Starfield came out on PlayStation and Xbox and PC, it would have smashed records. It would have smashed records because all the PlayStation fans would have played it. All the Xbox fans would have played it. All PC fans would have played it. It would have been like 20 million people would have played the game, and people would have been like, "Oh, this is amazing," right? But because it's on the lesser console, and lesser I mean by actual people that own an Xbox, okay, more people can sway it because there's more people that can't play the game. I'll stand by it. If Starfield was across the board on all consoles, wasn't just an exclusive on Xbox, I think it would have been in the low 90s. It would have been like a 90. Just because no reviews would be like, "Oh, I can't play the game. Fuck it." Not one moment did I bring up a Xbox tax. See, I agree with you up to the point of it would have universally loved for across the board release. Well, if it was across the board no one would have a problem with the game being exclusive, which a lot of people had the problem with. Kylo says, we'll bring it up for you, Mike. No worries. Gotcha. I appreciate it. What time is it? 12? 12:10? Horseman says, actually, it might have scored worse just because the game state. Remember, Xbox made them delay it, and it would have been 2077 all over again. Oh, you're saying it would have needed more time to bake because it was on all the consoles, Horseman. That's true. That's true. It would have came out, which was delayed, right? It was delayed a year. Almost a year. It was supposed to come out in November, and it came out, September. That's true. Eclipse says on PC they're giving away Assassin's Creed Syndicate Ubisoft launcher for free. Yeah, Stealth came in earlier and gave us an announcement about it. I was hyped for Starfield, bought an Xbox just for Starfield, and I've been pretty disappointed from what I played so far. I mean, did you have a PC, Garrett? Jones says Ubisoft can keep it. Jesus. Jones is not a fan of Assassin's Creed. Yeah, I'm not going to download it. I'm not even going to download it. I don't even care that it's free. I already own it, and it was a shit game when I got it, and it came with my Xbox One back in the day. Oh, I know. Baba. That's what I'm saying, right? A lot of the people that hated on Starfield were people that hated the game because of the exclusivity alone. No PC? Do you have a Samsung TV? You had to buy. Did you buy a Xbox Series S or X? If you don't mind me asking. I wouldn't say AC is a done franchise, Sarge. I wouldn't say it's done, but I would say that it's overstayed its welcome, I think. It still makes a shit ton of money. I just don't think it has the pull that it used to. And I think they're going to oversaturate it. Assassin's Creed is going to have the same problem that Marvel's has with all the TV shows and stuff that come out for Disney+. They're going to flood the market with all these Assassin's Creed games, and it's just going to dilute the brand, in my opinion. How many hours, Garrett, did you play the game? I played 100 and I have like 160, 170 hours in. How long did you play the game before you said no bueno? Jones says, tried Assassin's Creed 1 and didn't like it. Never looked back. Black Flag doesn't seem interesting. It does seem interesting, though. Black Flag is a good game if you like pirates. AC2 is the best two in the series, in my opinion. Is it just Assassin's Creed 2 or is that the Brotherhood? One of my favorite ones is the Brotherhood, Kylo. Yeah, I like Brotherhood the best. Just Assassin's Creed 2. Yeah, I like the Brotherhood. About 60 hours in, probably about halfway through the story, and I really do love the quests, but everything else is just kind of meh. I mean, I think, personally, I don't like the main story. For the little that I still haven't completed the main story yet in Starfield. The side quests, those are fantastic. Okay? The exploring part and stuff like that, I said before the game even came out, I said that's going to be boring as hell. 1,000 planets, you're going to start repeating stuff. There is a charm to some of the stuff that's in the game when you're exploring. It is cool. But once you see that first, dungeon, you're like, oh, this is cool. But then you see it a second or third time, and again, it's random. So what you might see 3 times, maybe I saw once. But I think the narrative of the side quests is fantastic. I think the side quests alone are worth the game price. And especially, right? Especially the amount of hours I put into that game. I got my money's worth. I didn't pay for it. I got my money's worth. I just played on Game Pass. I got an email. Stealth's waiting for that. Stealth's waiting. Let me see. Let me see if I got it. Maybe I got it. Maybe I got it. Maybe I'm the winner. Maybe I got the golden ticket. Let's see. Okay. Make sure it's not in the spam folder. Nothing there. Nothing. Let's check the other account. Nope. No go. You've got mail. Z says 30. I agree. Exploration got samey. Side quests are the thing I go back for. Yeah, the missions, the side quest missions were fantastic. Oh wait, are we hitting the alert? I just saw something pop up. Is that a gifted membership? Thanks for becoming a member. There it is. Let me move that a little bit. Wintar. Thanks for becoming a member. With the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you very much. I don't think my crowd thing works anymore. Oh, it does. There it goes. Thanks for becoming a member. Garrett says, I can agree with that. I definitely think that I got my money's worth. I probably just had too high expectations. Thanks for becoming a member. That is definitely a problem with a lot of games nowadays. Definitely a problem with a lot of games today, right? The expectations of what is supposed to be a game, right? Which is hyped up by other people. And again, I had this conversation with Travis in Discord, okay? Every game is different for everybody. There's tons of games made for different people, right? Here's my next question, Garrett. Did you ever play the other Bethesda games? Like, did you play Skyrim? Did you play Fallout? Did you play Oblivion? Did you play Morrowind? Did you play Fallout 3 and 4? Were you a Bethesda fan before this, or is this your first go at a Bethesda game like Starfield? Quintar, again, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships, man. Appreciate that.
Thanks for becoming a member.
You guys are too kind. Jones says, I'm 3 to 4 hours into Starfield. Don't like the shooting, but imagine the game gets better later. The shooting's actually pretty damn good, Jones. I know you might not like it, but it's actually pretty damn good. Try the
Thanks for becoming a member.
Crimson Fleet storyline. That's a good storyline. The Terramorphs also, that's a good storyline as well. The Vanguard. Garrett, spent 500 plus hours for Starfield, and it needs to be God's gift to gaming. I would be pissed. Assassin's Creed 4 was bad. Assassin's Creed game, but great pirate fantasy game. All the Assassin's missions were just taking plantations. I mean, yeah. I did like the sailing and the pirate combat, though. First Bethesda game. Okay. So you're coming in, you're brand new to what I would have done, Garrett. And I know you didn't own an Xbox ahead of time and stuff first. I probably would have played leading up to. I know Starfield's a separate IP and whatnot. I would have tried like a Fallout 3 or Fallout 4 because everyone said it was going to be Skyrim in space. I said it was going to be like a Fallout in space. That's basically what it is. I would have tried Fallout 3 or Fallout 4 first to see if you like that type of stuff. And you know what? I'm gonna go on a limb here, Garrett. I think within a 6-month time frame to a year, by this time next year, you're gonna come back in my channel and you're gonna be like, you know what? I really like Starfield. Right? I think your expectations were like super high because of whatever marketing hype. And then they didn't meet those expectations. But I think as you play that game and you start to experience the game, I think you're going to come back and go, you know what? I think it earned that 83. I think it's okay. I think it's just below Ghost of Tsushima. Because everyone likes to compare this game and that game to this game. And Bethesda makes games, man, that are unlike anything else on the market. Unlike anything else on the market. And I know you got to put 100 hours in or whatever. They make games unlike other people. And you either like it or you don't. And the people that like it, love it. Did you play the game that'll never be finished? Have you played Star Citizen? That's supposed to be a really good space game. Yeah, but no game can really be compared to Bethesda games. I'll be honest with you. That's why everyone says it's a Bethesda game. But that's just kind of like Nintendo that way. They don't care what you think. Yeah, they make their game. They're not trying to make their game like any other game. They make their game because of that's the type of game they want to make. The amount of detail and stuff that they do. Space Simulator, Star Citizen is a simulator, not a game. It's still, I mean, he says he likes space games. I want to know if he played Star Citizen. That's all. I'm not comparing Star Citizen to Starfield. I think I enjoyed Starfield a lot more because I didn't have any expectations. And my expectations were blown away for the amount of stuff that happened inside Starfield. Now, do I think Starfield is in any way, shape, or form like Game of the Year contender? No. No. Kylo's like, the sky's falling. Wow, delayed an expansion 4 months. Bungie's about to get sold off tonight. Who said it earlier? Was it you, Kylo, that said when Bungie comes out and delays the thing? I mean, when Schreier said it was delayed, I sold it. I was like, all right, it's delayed. Is there no way to become a member on iPhone? I'm not too sure, Garrett. I'm not too sure how the thing works. Let me say, I don't think there is. Yeah, I guess not. I'm not sure how that works. Bethesda needed to move on from the creation engine. Starfield showed its age. I don't know about that, Roic. We had this conversation with Lono a couple months ago about Starfield. And I think, I mean, I guess visually, sure, I'll agree with you there. Like visually. Even though the creation engine, when you compare that game to their other games, is leaps and bounds ahead of anything we've played before, right? Now, as far as what you can do with the creation engine in a Bethesda game, that's just what they want to do. I don't think they need to get rid of it. See, to me, the load screens are not a big thing. Did they say the new, I haven't even looked it up. Did they say the new month? It got pushed back to June? You know what I love about the Bungie scenario? That they came out and said that this game, Marathon's delayed. Their expansion's delayed till June. Everyone's like, well, they haven't said it yet, so... And then all of a sudden, Bungie's in the background going, shit. Well, it's out. I guess we'll stay quiet for a month. Then we'll just announce it. And we're coming out in June. So, what else is coming out? We have a new season pass. New season pass is coming out. Got The Witcher in it. Got The Witcher in it. My buddy, who's a super casual gamer, 2 kids, works like 70 hours a week, comes home. He said he fell off the wagon and he got back into Destiny. He says, man, I just love the way Destiny, the story. And the way he's describing it to me, I was like, you are the perfect person for that because you only play a certain amount of time. And by the time you're done with it, the next thing's already out. Right? I was like, you're perfect for that. I said, me, I would play through it and be bored and whatnot. He showed me a couple of trailers because I haven't seen Destiny at all. Nothing. Nothing. I had no kindling of whatsoever going, man, maybe you should get back in. Like, nothing. Nothing. I had nothing to do with Destiny at all. I wasn't like, oh, dude, this looks so... Didn't care. I didn't care. Rowick says, they didn't really bother me either, but I know it was a drawback for some. Yeah, I think the people it was a drawback to was the people that never played a Bethesda game before. Remember, Rowick, people were looking to hate this game. They're like, did you see the tiles? You can hit the boundaries. Tiles. And then not one person was like, oh, dude, hit the tiles all the time, right? A map the size of Skyrim every time you load it into a world. Everyone's like, they're like, I need a vehicle. I need the maps are too small. You're going to hit the boundary. I need a vehicle because I can't get around fast enough. The eyes. Did you guys see the eyes on the background talent that's in the background? Right? They were looking for stuff to hate. I don't mind loading screens at all. They're legit 2 seconds. I think the longest one was 8 seconds. Which, here, I'll show you what 8 seconds is. Are you ready? Let me get my timer out. Right? Okay. So, here's 8 seconds. Woo! That silence was deafening. That was... I don't know if I could do that again. It was 8 seconds. Most of the load screens were 2 seconds. Okay, so here we go. 2 seconds. Ready? That's it. 2 seconds. Okay. Right? If you have an attention span and can't wait 2 seconds for a load screen, you might want to get on something. I'm not a doctor, okay? But you might want to go get diagnosed with something. Because if 2 seconds is forever for you. Anyone complaining about a load screen must have been born yesterday. That's right, Eclipse. You got to get quiet for 8 seconds. I don't think that's why people tune in. For me to be quiet. Be weird. I can start another channel. Like, to compare, okay, a 2 second is the same amount of seconds when you're doing a QuickTime event in God of War, Last of Us, Spider-Man 2, where you're like, press X, and you're like, press X, X. That's it. That's the load screen. Like, I can be doing something. I can be picking up something. If just 2 seconds, I can pick up a piece of bread. I can pick up this piece of garbage. This junk right here. I can shoot a gun. 2 seconds. It's like, calm down. It's okay. You can take a moment for a load screen. You know what I do during load screens? That's it. Just take a sip of water. Take a break. Stand up. Say hi to your children. Destiny, right? Destiny, you're in orbit for fucking 2.5 minutes. Where's the backlash on that? Must be drinking a lot? No, I just don't go through every door every 5 seconds. John says, remember the good old days? I'm sorry, I put the good in there. Remember the old days? You could run to the store while the game loaded. You're like, yeah, I gotta boot up my game. What, you want ice cream at the store? All right, I'll be right back. Go to the store. You look at the assortment of flavors on the thing. You sit there, you're like, You get the employee to come over, get them to ask, what's your favorite flavor? You open up the thing, you grab the thing, you close the door, you have to wait in line, right? You go to 10 items or less, this guy's in front of you with 20 items, you're like, fucker. Okay? Then you get your receipt, you get back in your car, you walk a little fast, get back in your car, and then you come into your room, you sit back down on the couch, and it's still thinking, and then it comes right back in. You're like, whew, made it. How long was I gone for? 22 minutes. 22 minutes. How long is the orbit screens now in Destiny? I don't know. I haven't played in 3 years. I'm sure they cut it down, right? It's gotta be like a minute and a half now. Eclipse says that's one of the reasons why I stopped playing Destiny. It's like I understand why they don't have everything in the main hub. Spaceship thing. I hate, and I have to get my bounties and all that. Oh god, remember people were like, can we not go back to the tower so we can collect our bounties? Can we just do it from the spaceship? Roller Dome hits Game Pass tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. Oh, you know what game I played? I said it earlier. Let me bring it up. I got a little bit of footage here. I played this game. This is not Borderlands, okay? This is a game called I played a game. Oh god, it's a load screen, guys. You guys okay? Load screen. Couple seconds, I know. It'll be okay. Hold on. Oh, all right. Okay. So it's a game. It's like a roguelite shooter. Okay. It's fantastic. Okay. You run around. It's like Borderlands-ish graphics. Okay. You're a robot. You got different abilities and whatnot. Okay. You got different abilities and whatnot. Why is this? Okay, so you have a different specials. Yeah, RoboQuest. It's fantastic. Okay, my son was playing it on the holiday and was like, "Dad, want to play?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll give it a shot." It's multiplayer. You can play with your friends. Okay, you run through different segments. Okay, you get different guns, different loot. You level up. It's once you're dead, that's it. It's over. So you try to go. It's like push your luck. Okay. So you find different weapons. You can level up those weapons. It's like progressing all the stuff. So you keep grabbing things for your robot. Okay. There's like different little hidden rooms and different sections that you get. Okay. This is actually a really, really fun game. Real fast. Each like level takes anywhere like 5 minutes or so. The content that I have here, I think, is the entire. I think I die at the boss. But you go through, make it to a boss, and if you die, then you have to start all over again. Okay? If you make it through the boss, you go to the next section, and so on and so forth. It's actually a lot of fun. So, I was thinking about playing this tonight, but I also want to continue playing some Lord of the Rings. But I might play this tonight on stream. Garrett Green, thank you very much for the membership. Thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's a really, really fun game. Some of the weapons are ridiculous. I think I'm using the purple robot right now. There's different perks, as you can see. I'm not pushing up on it. But there's perks that you can unlock. Right, there's different, like, there's like this Tesla gun that you can get. I don't know if I pick up one. Yeah, the art style is 100% like Borderlands. Yeah, so here, I'll pause it for a second. So there's different perks, right? So as you level up, as you're going through the boards, you get these perks, right? So some of the perks that you can get, I upgraded, so I have a potential of getting 3 different perks, a choice of the 3 different perks. Before you upgrade that, you only get a choice of 2. So simple geometry, critical damage ricochets on one enemy with 9 meters, dealing 50% damage. The other one's relentless pursuit. Using blink increases fire rate, reload speed, dagger attack speed by 40%, and movement speed by 18% for 6 seconds. And then robo fuel. Gathering and heal cell generates 1 robo fuel point for 2 seconds. Each point increase all damage, fire rate, reload speed, dagger attack speed for 1%, and movement speed by 0.5. So as you go through, you get different perks, go through different sections. They're small little boards, but it's a fun little game. It's a fun little game. No, it's on Xbox Game Pass. I believe it's on PC. I don't know if it's on Xbox. Or, I'm sorry. I don't know if it's on PlayStation. I don't know if it's on VR. This would be kind of nauseous if it was on VR. So this is the Tesla. This is a Tesla gun I have, which does electric damage. And you want to kill like you could run through everything, right? You could run through everything and not even attack and get to the end of the board, but you want to blow up stuff because they drop certain things that you need to unlock other things later. Yeah, it's roguelike. Kind of like Borderlands. It's got hidden areas. Like, that's a flamethrower gun. Right? So at the end, you get to go through that section. Load screen. Settle yourselves. Right? Then you go to the next section. Okay? There's like a safe haven where you heal yourself up. You can use the things that you found to upgrade. You can find different weapons or perks to give it to your character. Okay, and then you go into the next realm, right? And then you fight again, and you go through each of the section, and they branch out. Okay, they branch out. It's called RoboQuest. Yeah, it's a nice little game. Let me fast forward here a little bit. Yeah, so you like find like hidden areas and whatnot. And then you have like boss fights. Let's see if I get to the boss. I think I get to the boss. Yeah. So you go into the section, and then you go into a boss fight. I lose to the. I think I lose to this boss. Yeah, he gets me with the spin. I couldn't jump high enough for some reason. But there's different bosses that you fight. Yeah, I was just terrible at jumping. But it gets harder and harder. You can change the difficulty level and whatnot. And when you're done, you go back into the base camp. And inside the base camp, you have a couple places to go. I don't know if I go there. I think I left to go to dinner at this point. Yeah, I didn't do anything. So it just stays there. So yeah. So RoboQuest. It's a cool little game. And you can progress and upgrade. So there's like, I think there's 6 different robots that you can use. You start with they're each a different color. One's blue, one's purple, one's green, one's orange. I think. I forget. I'm missing 2 of them, so I don't know the other 2. I have blue. No, wait. I have, oh, it's yellow. Yellow, orange, purple, blue, missing green, and I think there's red. And they each have different abilities and different things. Pretty cool. Pretty cool game. My son played it first, and he's like, "Oh, this is pretty fun. You should try this out." I was like, "Okay." And he unlocked it a whole bunch of stuff before me, and then he's like, you should try this. And I was like, "Okay." Yeah, Horseman, a little bit. Yeah, I would say it's like that. A mix of Borderlands with the Risk of Rain. Risk of Rain I tried when it first came out. It seemed like a pretty fun game, Travis. I didn't play too much of it. I know First Loser, he played a lot of it. Is it $20? $20 for RoboQuest? That's worth it. That's worth it. It's a fun game, Quintar. All right, Travis, have a good one. Yeah, I'm not a big rogue player, but I like the loop inside RoboQuest. All right, we didn't do the Valve story. We didn't do Google Disc. We did 1, 2, 3, 4 stories today. All right, cool. Roic says, I made a mistake. Someone gave me a year subscription to WoW. And I was like, but I tried it, and now I'm hooked again. That's how it happens. Yeah, it's multiplayer. It's multiplayer. I'm not sure. Would you guys... I want to play Lord of the Rings, but I think I'm going to have problems playing it still on my very laggy. So I think what we'll do, maybe tonight, at least in the front part, maybe we'll play RoboQuest. Maybe I'll play that for like an hour or two. So if anybody wants to play RoboQuest tonight, that's what we'll do. We'll play RoboQuest tonight. We'll play it on stream. And then after, I can go into Lord of the Rings. I'll be playing it on Xbox. So if anybody, I don't know if it's crossplay. It might be crossplay. I'm not sure. It's a fun game though. Fun game. So we'll play that tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll jump into RoboQuest and play that a little bit. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun game. Let me see what the price is. RoboQuest. Yeah, on Steam right now it's $20. It's on 20% sale. It's $20, $25 normal. And it's $25. It's $25 on Xbox. And if you have Game Pass, it's on Game Pass. Or if you have Game Pass, you can buy it, and it's $16, $17. So, good price. Not sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form. Just started playing it this weekend. You know, a lot of people are clicking on my video of the console for World of Warcraft coming to console. And a lot of people are like, no, it's not coming. It's almost like they want to gatekeep World of Warcraft from coming to console, which I find really, really weird, because it's like, why would you gatekeep something like that, where they'll probably separate the servers. Now, Elder Scrolls Online had separate servers for console and PC. Then they included everybody in the same one. I know people are like, oh, for the raid parties and whatnot. They already have controller support for World of Warcraft. So everyone that says that it's not going to happen just doesn't understand that there's already support for controller for World of Warcraft. Really well reviewed. I don't even look at reviews. I play the game and tell you it's a good game. But they already have the controller, Rowick. They've been working with controller for a year now, over a year. For someone to deny that the controller is not coming, doesn't follow news, because the controller is here. Like Elder Scrolls uses controller, Final Fantasy uses controller. You can use controller for like Lost Ark. You know what I mean? Like there on PC, there's controller support for a lot of the stuff. I'm not sure if it's in preview program. It might be. I think it's out. Let me see. Yeah, it says xCloud beta, but I think the game is out. Now open. Finalizing our work for incoming spring update. In the meantime, we need your help to make sure the version's stable. So it's still in beta. Yeah. Is RoboQuest in early access? RoboQuest has left early access and is fully launched on Xbox Game Pass for cloud, console, and PC. RoboQuest is a first-person shooter game, roguelike elements, that can be played either single-player or two-player co-op. So it's out. It's not in beta anymore. Quintar says all the PC handles are helping with the controller support. Yeah, they've been working on it for over a year now. I don't think it will come to console in the same form. The team that makes it has said that they don't have the interest in making a console version. Understandably, to work, Microsoft would have to add a new team. Here's the thing. In my video that I talk about the console horseman, I say it's going to come to PC Game Pass first. They're going to bring it to Game Pass to bring more players in. And there's going to be controller support as well. I think once the deal, which has already gone through, I think my prediction is that Blizzard and Microsoft, it would benefit, right? Because Blizzard says they don't want to do it or whatever. Well, they're not the bosses anymore. Microsoft is. And Microsoft wants Game Pass to hit 100 million subscribers. Well, in my opinion, it would behoove them to get World of Warcraft on console or PC Game Pass and includes their monthly subscription for World of Warcraft into PC Game Pass Ultimate, where World of Warcraft is part of it. Then once that happens, then they'll try to get it to console. Now, they talked about how they don't want to split the servers. On Steam, it says it's also cross-platform multiplayer, so I guess it does. Yeah. They didn't have any interest now that the deal has gone through, and they have interest in it because it's only one console and not all. Right. And if, in my opinion, Microsoft wants, like, again, they want 100 million Xbox users. Well, you know, Final Fantasy 14 isn't a split server. Correct. That's what I'm saying. Either is Elder Scrolls Online. Elder Scrolls Online is merged, but it was separate, and then they merged it together. That's the one all Tamriel type of update they did for Xbox and PlayStation and PC. So a lot of the World of Warcraft players are saying that they don't want it on coming to console because they're trying to gatekeep or whatnot. But I think that they're going to bring it to Game Pass. If it comes to PC Game Pass first, it's still coming to Game Pass. Because if you're paying $15 a month to play World of Warcraft, and now you pay $17 for World of Warcraft and it's included into Game Pass and you get Game Pass, I mean, that seems like a hell of a good deal, doesn't it? Either way, they're getting your money. You pay $15 for World of Warcraft, Microsoft's making your money. You pay $17 and it's part of Game Pass, and you're paying $2 extra and you get Game Pass on PC, plus you get your subscription with World of Warcraft on there. You would be an idiot not to do that, right? Yeah, I think it comes to PC Game Pass first, and then it comes to console down the road. We're talking like 3 years from now. I think PC Game Pass, though, within the next year. I think they make an announcement of some sort, comes out in like 2025. You'd be idiotic to buy a company, right? To buy Blizzard, Activision, or Activision Blizzard, okay? And not to incorporate Blizzard, World of Warcraft inside of Game Pass is idiotic. You would get so many more people to play and get Game Pass just because of World of Warcraft. Like 124 million people that have played since the launch of World of Warcraft. Not consecutive, but 124 million people own World of Warcraft at some point. It's happening, bro. Oh, I know it's going to happen. Look, I've said this before. Look, Final Fantasy 14 is coming to Xbox. You have Elder Scrolls on Xbox. You're going to get World of Warcraft coming to Xbox. Hey, we broke over. We hit over 50 people live today. We got over 50 people live today. And this is not the universal jerk off sign. This is me cheering. I'm not jerking anyone off here. Yeah. Over 50. That's growth, my friends. That's growth. Just bots? Oh. All right. Well, thanks for coming out. On the bright side, even Potato can run it. Wow, that's right. Yeah, we hit 50 over 3 times this time. That. Oh, so I bought Sarge got a standing desk, and I looked at it when I was down south, and I was like, dude, this is nice. So I'm changing up my whole setup in the next week or two. My mother said that she would pick up the desk for Christmas for me, so I'm getting it early for Christmas, but I'm changing out my whole setup here. So I have like bad sciatica, right? And so sitting for so long, so I'm going to be standing, and it's going to set up my whole setup. So the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be changing up my whole, might change some things behind us and stuff as well. And that's how you will advertise WoW on console. Even a potato can run it. Can you imagine, though? You can play World of Warcraft from your television, from your phone, from your potato. Oh no, Stealth! Did you see the link that I sent Water? Did you see the link I sent Water? It's probably because you mentioned bad news about Starfield. Actually, let me see. Let me see. I can look at. I can pinpoint it when. Yeah, it was like 11:10. I'll have to go back on the video and see. Let's see. Was it like 2? The Series S should come with a free potato peeler. No. You buy a potato peeler. They give you the S for free. Won't let me. It won't let me. Won't let me go back for some reason. Let me see if I can get that link for you. Hold on one second. Did I put it in? Oh, yeah. No, I think that's the link for... Yeah, that's the link for it. You can pick whatever... Which one what you're looking for. I saw if you want the desk in black, it was Cyber Monday special 88 price change every hour or so on Amazon. Yeah, I got the rustic one. The rustic one, which was like 99, 98, 99, something like that. You could probably grate potatoes on the round spot. Yeah, then you open it up. Yeah. It's not a bad idea, Rose, right? You could buy the Xbox Series X fridge. And then you get the Xbox S potato peeler. Well, yeah, you're going to have to put it over to the Canadian one and see what the best... I'm just giving you the name of it. I don't have the Canadian link. Fries for days. It'd be like one of those infomercials. God rest his soul. Billy Mays. Billy Mays Mays, right? Billy Mays was the guy. Billy Mays here with the Xbox Series S potato peeler. It slices, it dices, it plays video games. Not only can you do 30 frames per second, you can get 30 fries per second. Suicide Squad dropped another video. It's on X. Did you guys see the deals that were going on at Target? They said they were Black Friday deals, and someone just moved the Black Friday price out of the way, and it was just the normal price. Yeah, where's this other I don't see it. It's Black Friday every day at the furniture store. Has anybody played the Division Resurgence? And is it good? I actually started playing Division 2 last night again. Having fun with it. Yeah, they showed that new exotic weapon, Eclipse. I kind of want to go for it. Like the SMG or whatever it is. Yeah, I'm on Rocksteady's site. I don't even see, where do they drop this new video? I know they were dropping like individual trailers for each of the characters. No, but I did hear that Division Heartland got rated in Korea, so that means it's coming out soon then, right? Doesn't come out to iPhone until March of next year. I want to play on my phone. I'll be honest with you. I'm one of those people that don't want to play games on my phone. If there's a like, I didn't play what was that? Marvel's Revolution. What was the hell was that one we played? Yeah, Marvel's Revolution, right? We played that with the emulator. I don't want to play. All right, real quick, we'll do some advertisements for my channel here. We do dailies. We do the daily show like this every day. If you like what we do here, make sure you hit that like button. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We do the dailies. Live stream is Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until about 1, right? Then we have uploads, right? We do our uploads every single day, daily uploads. We got tons of content. So if you miss this live stream, I take the breakout videos that we do on this live stream. You come to the live stream, you get extra, banter back and forth. If you just watch the videos, it's just the topics and my thoughts. That's it, right? So if you don't want to come to these live shows, cool. If you just want to watch those videos, topics, fantastic. Also, what helps us out here, because we're a very small channel, we have 1,600 people, right? If you watch these live shows and you don't watch the videos afterwards, what you could do is just go over there, hit that like button. It helps us out because it pushes out to more people. So I appreciate everyone coming out, hanging out with us each and every single day in the mornings. We also do the uploads, like I said, and we also do live streams in the evening. It's just gameplay, right? So tonight we're gonna jump into RoboQuest for like an hour or so. If it does well, we'll play a little longer. If not, it is what it is. But RoboQuest tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. We play games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday evenings. Thursday evening, we do a podcast to end the week, which is Generation X Gaming, a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. So lots of different videos. As you can tell, our live shows that we do, we're at episode 374, I think, now. So come check out our live podcasts, gameplay, live shows, uploads, shorts, whole bunch of stuff. Marvel Future Revolution. Thank you, Krebsy. So we do lots of different things. If you like our content, I do appreciate you. If you're here for 1 second, 1 minute, or 1 hour, I do appreciate your time. Thank you very much for all the new members tonight. Thanks for the gifted memberships as well. And I'm done for the day. I'll see you guys, or I'm done for the afternoon anyway. You guys enjoy the rest of your afternoon, evening, and I'll see you guys tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern for some RoboQuest. Peace.